My friend, I am tired of this stock AK, man. But it still does the job though, right? Yes, I know. But I want to look cool, you know? Why don't you just go to Playtonia.com, man? Play what?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is OLDBEAR, also known as Siddarth Prashanth, and joining me for this lower bracket finals is going to be.
This is TANGENBERG, also known as Sriram, Vishaal, and we are here for the low bracket finals between Sky Esports and Alter Ego Esports, and we will be seeing who will be facing executioners in the grand final, which will be taking place tomorrow. And both these teams have had a long road out here, and they have been through ups and downs, and most of them being at the upper bracket and dropping down to the lower. And here we are. We will be seeing one team which will be going on to the next round, to the finals, that is, for a shot at the prize pool and an alliance share as well, where anyways the prize pool is about 2,400 US dollars, and one of these teams will be losing and they will be going back home. And we'll actually be about to see what the scene is between both these teams right now.
We'll be seeing who is going to be proceeding to the finals to face against Team Executioners. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this match is actually a best of 3, just like the last one. So we'll be able to see tons of varieties of maps. And talking about maps, Sky Esports in the previous game, they lost against Executioners. Their first map was Dust 2, which they picked. The second map was Mirage, which Executioners picked. Both of them they lost. It was a 2-0. And right now, being in the lower bracket finals, we have the choice of maps too.
And speaking about the maps, I'm really surprised how Sky were able to pick the same map again, because what we are going to look at is the first map is going to be D2, the same pick which Sky had picked in the previous game. They're going to repeat that again, probably a change of fortune this time around. And speaking about Alter Ego, they were going on with Inferno. And the third map, which was supposed to be Nuke in the previous one, that's going to be Nuke again out here, as that was the last remaining map. And we will be seeing the first map between both these teams right now, as D2 will be the game where we'll be looking at between Sky Esports and Alter Ego. Sky Esports just about played about 2 maps against Executioners, where they ended up in the second place. I mean, they ended up as the losers of that game, and they just dropped down to the lower bracket finals. And we will be seeing what the scene is between both these teams right now, because both of them have been playing pretty well, and they got to where they are right now due to sheer talent, as well as really good team play, as well as strats coming out there. We did witness a lot of them coming out from both these teams, and for the first time we will actually be seeing Alter Ego
playing in a match which is without train.
Exactly, without train, because both the matches which we have been casting out for Alter Ego Esports were based on train, and for a change we will be looking at 3 other maps this time around, and let's actually see what they've got in the other maps apart from train, because
their dominance in train actually, before this game actually started, I thought, okay, since Sky Esports is going to be facing against Alter Ego, maybe train being one of the maps which Alter Ego performs extremely well in, I thought, okay, these guys might try to get that into their favor, but I guess Sky Esports must have banned it. They must have seen the stream and be like, oh no, I don't want to fight against this. This is going to be pretty hard. And
just look at that, all of them just trading out weapons out there. You see a lot of barrage of ops and M4s coming out there. And by the way, guys, all of them,
the essence of CSGO?
Exactly. You obviously need to have some really good skills and skins as well. And if you actually want to get these kinds of skins, by the way, guys, we will be, as you know, our website is a platform where you can play against your friends and gain some Playtonia leaves, which is our currency. And with that, you can also redeem yourselves with some skins like the ones you are just seeing right now. And as my friend OLDBEAR usually says, those. I guess it's better if
Yeah,
you say
like
it, man.
if you probably have a dragon allure, it's more likely that you're going to be winning the game. Like, isn't that what the game is about? And I guess we should not be dilly dallying about anymore, as we are going to be up with the game of CS:GO between Sky Esports and Alter Ego Esports. Dust 2 being Sky Esports' map. Let's see if they can show the performance which they lacked in the winners bracket, and let's see how that is going to be working out. We see three people from the side of Alter Ego Esports. They're going to be playing over at LT, just trying to see if they can get a pick off over at A short if anybody is unfortunate to go for the pick. Boogie is going to be playing over at A long. He has pushed forward a little bit. Tsukamoto just spot out a player over at mid. He's going to be jumping over at Xbox, but no, he won't be able to go over to A shot right now. And it looks like three people from the side of Alter Ego Esports are going to be gathering up at mid, trying to secure a kill or two. Okay, they're just going to look for a push. We do see two people pushing over at A shot, while one just right behind them is going to be giving them some cover. Tsukamoto and his friends have made their way onto A side, and it looks like it's just going to be a very free side. Nobody from Alter Ego Esports have actually gotten killed right here, and Sky Esports, they have lost Maxi right now, so this is going to be a 4 versus 5. And Alter Ego Esports, they have a free side for themselves. The bomb has been planted, and we do see three people from the side of Sky Esports are making their way over to A shot, and it looks like Fosmork is going to be getting 3 kills. Make that 4, maybe not. He's just going to be throwing away his weapon. I don't know why. Maybe he's trying to look for a knife. Okay, he is just juggling about, and
Oh my god! He just had killed him with his last bullet. For your information, he was able to get those 3 kills. And if you actually looked at why he was throwing the gun away, he was actually trying to pick another weapon out there so that he didn't waste a lot of time by reloading. But then he really couldn't find it. And with that just one bullet which he had, he was able to get that headshot onto that player. And that is going to be the T-Side's first round for them, as Alter Ego Esports draw first blood in this game, as we are going to see a buy coming out there for Alter Ego, while the Sky Esports team really have not bought anything apart from a CZ for Sky SG, while we are actually going to look at Josh, who was actually getting tagged for about 45
yeah,
HP.
scout, man.
Exactly, the spam really working out for Vugi right now. And Vugi, we have seen some dominant plays from him. The playstyle of his was pretty aggressive, and let's see whether he can do the same thing out here as well. And predominantly because Train is a map where you have a lot of cover and all of that, going all out aggressive and at the same time having some cover as well was working out pretty well for Alter Ego as well as Boogie. And let's actually see whether that can be done out here, because it's not the same case, it's not the same scenario when Alter Ego Esports play their previous game and where they are right now, as we will be seeing what the T's have in their mind right now, because we are going to see Redco as well as Maxi making a way out there. We're going to see Redco making his way on a mid, but he's going to go down as well, as Fosmog is going to get that, as ZXC is going to spot out Sky SG, and he is going to go down as well. And that would be that would actually be an easy plan for Alter Ego, given that there's nobody, not even at mid right now, while we are just going to see one person who happens to be Eugene, who is pretty good in terms of all the pistol plays and all, which we had witnessed in the previous game. But then that sadly won't be the case in this round, as Alessa is going to shut him down, and Alessa could probably get another one as well. He's just having a look at his blood spot, and that is going to cause a distraction, and that's going to allow Maxi to take him down, and probably that's going to leave Alter Ego trying to hunt them down. But then Maxi is going to get a kill, but he is going to get traded out there by Boogie, as he opens his account in the scoreboard right now.
And this is looking to be quite difficult for Sky Esports to handle. And the reason why I am not like that enthusiastic about Sky Esports' place is because this is the map they've chosen, and if they're going to be losing the first 2 rounds in such a manner where you saw in the first round, the T sides, they really did not lose anyone, and that was a really sad play coming in from Sky Esports. And right now though, we are going to be looking at round number 3, 2 points for Alter Ego, 0 for Sky. And it looks like Alter Ego, they are trying to emphasize their focus on mid control more than trying to rush onto side. We do see Tsukamoto, he is going to be behind A long doors, just trying to see if any flank plays, any cute little plays are going to be coming out from Sky Esports. Boogie's going to be playing over at upper tunnels. He is the bomber, by the way, so he is going to be retreating, maybe just gauging how much information he can get as much as possible. And we do see them trying to go over at mid, and this might be, a lot of rotations being cancelled out for the side of Sky Esports. We see the Molotovs coming over at the A side, and it looks like they are going to be pushing over towards the B side. Sky SG, okay, look at that. He is going to be throwing out that smoke over at the entrance of B, but he is going to be able to get the kill onto Josh, but no, they are going to be able to secure the side over at B, and that is going to be, you know, Woogie coming over from UT, and he is going to be able to get that plant pretty easily. But Sky Esports, it is still a 3 versus 3, and Maxi is looking at the wrong direction. He might be getting killed right now. Oh my god, the ninja coming out right there over the guy who is at CT, and that is going to be Woogie making most of the plays happen, as Postmark is going to be securing that round by getting that final kill. And what a play that was by Alter Ego Esports.
I mean, yes, that was quite impeccable. I really couldn't understand how he was not noticed at that, because when you're going to look at that, we actually saw a couple of guys making their way from mid onto B side, and it's quite sad that they weren't able to look at the backstab, probably because there was a guy at A and he didn't really notice that. And yet again, we're going to see Woogie tagging a lot of damage onto Josh, courtesy of his AWP. The last time he did that, he did it with a scout, and he was doing about a 45 HP damage out there. But now it looks like he's given about 89, and it looks like Sky is going to spot out a majority of the people from the T side. But then it's going to be Josh who's going to get one, as he's going to get traded out by Lesser, as Sky SG is going to exchange that frag onto him as well, and that's going to leave the T side making their way on a B, while the CTs are going to make it from ramp, and they all just have pistols with them, no utilities as well. So it's going to be really hard for them to break in and try to make a play for themselves, because at this point in time you would definitely need something like a flash or any kind of utility. But then ZXC is going to spot the jumper out there, who happens to be Red Co, and he's going to go down as well, and it's going to be one more firefight between both these guys, Eugene as well as one more person. But Eugene's going to get one AK courtesy of the guy who died out there, but he is trying to spray it down onto the second guy. He was good enough to get those 2 kills, but this time around he is not going to make that 1v3 happen like what we saw in the previous game, where he clutched down a 1v3 in the pistol round. And that clearly is not going to happen this time, as Alter Ego Esports have it covered. And let's actually see how that's going to work out for them, because that's going to be 4 rounds in a row, and Redco as well as Sky are going to go with Ops, while we are going to see a couple of M4s as well as an AUG. And how is that going to pan off is just something which we'll have to wait and watch, because right now the economy is looking a little bleak out there. Sky Esports not really great, not really sound on their economy. Probably if they are, should they lose this round, they will be going on to pistols, or maybe even an eco coming out there. But that's just about time where we are going to find this, because Sky Esports have not won a single round out here, and this should be probably their best chance of getting around out here, because both of them have full god. Even though they are not really great in terms of their utilities, they do have their helmets and armors intact, and I think that could be something they can use for. But it looks like Woogie is going to get tagged for a lot of damage out there from the AWP coming in from the guy at Goose, and let's see whether he can try to make a play for himself. The mollies and smokes are coming out. He is going to prime it out onto the car area, and let's see whether that is going to unsettle the other guy out there. But the fakes coming out there is going to make it evident that these guys are going to go and make it into a B. Redco clearly sees nobody out there, so that's going to be some vital information coming in for the CD side that this might be a B, while the guys at B have not moved a muscle. We are going to see the T side making their way out there. The flash is coming out there from both these people. Tsukamoto is going to see, he's actually going to spot one person, but he literally does not do any damage out there. But then it's going to be Fosmark who is going to get that kill and make sure that that is undone. And we are going to see a 3-on-3 right now. The bomb has been planted. It's just about 45 seconds to the bomb is going to get it's just going to blow off, and we are going to see Eugene as well as 2 of his friends making his way from the CD side. He is going to spot one, but then it is going to be right in time for him, as he is going to take on Alessa, who has taken his teammate down, and this is all of a sudden a 2-on-2. Can Maxi and Eugene clutch this out? One thing which is not in their favor is going to be the time, because even though they have a kid, they don't have a lot of time. But it's going to be Eugene who's going to get one. He's actually going to get another as well, but he is going to go for the defuse. I guess I think he can defuse it. I'm not really sure whether this is going to happen, but yes, he does, and finally they have won their first round. And yet again, this is for the 3rd time that Sky Esports are winning their first round after 4 rounds into the game where they had lost it. And I think
if it is going to be a repeat, it's not looking good for Sky Esports. They have to, carry this momentum onto at least 2 more rounds if they want to, have their economy stable, and if they decide to, buy a lot more guns, buy those utilities, and make those plays happen. But if they are going to be losing this round right now, it is going to be quite hard because Alter Ego Esports, they have actually semi-bought. 3 of them have actually bought out rifles, while 2 of them are just going to be going with pistols. And we see the HE grenade getting thrown down over at UT, not really tagging anyone. That was a very hopeful grenade right there. Sadly, not as hopeful as he would have thought. Tsukamoto with that CZ is going to be covering over at LT, keeping an eye over at A short. Boogie is going to be playing the UT area. He's going to try to get a pick off onto the guy who is at B, and he might be able to do so because we have seen Boogie being one of the better mechanically skilled player in the team right there. But no, sadly, he just paints me wrong, and they just get killed over at UT. And the UMP spam coming over there onto UT. That is just 3 people going down over there for Alter Ego Esports, and the 2 people who are left alive, they have to retreat. They have to make sure that they plant the bomb, or else the next round is going to be quite hard for them. They will be forced into pistols or maybe even an eco. And we see the incendiary grenade getting thrown down right there. That is sadly not going to be damaging Tsukamoto. It is going to tag him for a little bit of damage, but he is going to be able to back off. Eugene is going to be keeping an eye over at mid, and there is exactly where ZXC is going to be coming over, and he is just lining up over the crosshairs of Eugene, and Eugene is going to get that kill right there. The flash over, and oh my god, that was very hopeful, but Tsukamoto, sadly, he will be able to get that kill, so that was very sad for Sky SG. Josh, though, he does manage to get that final kill on Tsukamoto, and that is going to be 2 rounds in a row for Sky Esports. So Alter Ego Esports, they are crumbling a little bit, and I don't think they have the money they would need to, execute a full strat or something. So
I mean, this round is not going to be pretty much what they had expected for them, because in terms of their economy wise, all they could probably go on for, they could probably buy out some P250s, and looks like they are going to do that. Just one of them, there's actually a couple of them going for P250s, while the others are just sticking to their Glocks, and let's see how that's going to work out for them. They are splitting it out. We see them split out from UT and then coming back again to mid together. We see all the 5 of them making their way on a mid, but then the teammate is gonna block his smoke out there, and that is gonna cause ZXC, and he is gonna go down as well. So is Woogie. So this has been quite the round which Sky have been expecting them to have, as they are just playing them like a book, and all of a sudden we actually see the momentum swinging towards Sky Esports side, because the last 2 rounds were pretty good in terms of their execution, and even in terms of the rotations and how they had been playing have been pretty neat. And we actually saw a couple of plays which the T side could not have done, or probably could have avoided, just like the smoke which you had saw.
Yeah, that was very sad, man.
Right in mid, that could have been a little bit better, but then like I said, it just happens in the game of CS, and I think that's nothing. It's not that.
It's not something you can take away from these teams. Like those are just very simple mistakes. Not really. You can't really consider that as a mistake. But considering mistakes, though, we are going to be seeing ZXC. He's going to be making a very huge one as he gets killed by Redco over at mid, and Boogie, as the bomber, he is going to be going towards A side. And by the way, A side seems to be pretty clear. There is just going to be one guy over at highway. Redco, though, he is going to be making his way right now. And this might be a very sad set of events for Alter Ego Esports if they're not going to be setting up this A push correctly. But it looks like Boogie is just going to be throwing down that HE grenade, and they are going to be backing off right now. And since 4 people are alive, they can try to go for a push, as one guy is over there at the long doors. He is going to be supported by one more of his teammate. The smoke is going to be put over at A shot. Redco is going to be keeping a keen eye over there onto that pass right now, and he might be able to get a frag or 2, so they need to charge this with a flash or something so they can distract Redco or something, but I don't think that is going to be possible. But we do see Maxi, he is going to be stuck over at Fitz. He is going to be able to get the kill on Tsukamoto, but Osmork is going to be able to get the kill onto Maxi and follows it up by getting the kill onto Redco, and that is going to be the A side getting free right now. And we see a pit plan coming from the side of Alter Ego Esports. Eugene is going to be playing over from CT, and he is going to be spotted out by Boogie, and Boogie, he knows exactly what to do. He looks down, he makes sure that the head is not going to be visible, and that is going to be Boogie surviving for a little bit longer. And we do see the A shot reclaim coming from the side of Sky Esports. 2 people are going to be making their way from A shot, and Boogie needs to make sure that he gets those kills. He's going to be able to get that first kill. No, he is not able to, but he looks down at the right time, making sure that he saves his head. And we see Josh right right there. He is going to be able to secure the kill, but sadly the plant is going to be in an unfortunate position. The bomb is certainly going to explode as, okay, it certainly is going to explode, and Alter Ego Esports are going to be getting the kill, and that is going to be an op. Okay, the op was not reclaimed.
Oh, that was quite sad. I actually expected that to go. I really saw that coming, but then I thought, like, there was this 50-50 possibility of him surviving at that point, but it's quite sad that it didn't happen. All that effort to get that off just gone right there, and just when it looked like their economy was going on well, they lost about 3 rounds, and now I really don't think they can. Maybe they can get another guy who could probably go for now, but I don't think that is going to be the case because all the 5 of them don't have a lot of money. Just about 3 AKs into Khalils, and they are rushing their way on to B right now. And it looks though as if SkyST is going to get taken down, and Forsmoke as well as ZXC are going to get a couple of kills out here. And this is going to be a 3-on-3 right now. The bomb is going to get planted right here, and the CD side are making it there, and he is going to throw a molly out there, which is not really going to help his case, as he is going to get avoided there by the smokes out there placed by both these guys at B side. And looks as if Eugene's trying to make his way through the smoke, but then he is quite skeptical about what is coming right behind him, because we do see a guy making his way onto mid, and can he actually spot him out? It's going to be Maxi who's going to take out one person, and Boogie, who went for the backstab, was able to get one, and this is going to be a 1-on-2 situation there. And there you go, it's going to be Alter Ego Esports getting that win into this round, and that's going to be an op secured for them as well. And the backstab coming there from Boogie actually didn't catch him off guard. I mean, it actually caught him off guard, and Redco really did have an idea. He initially did have an idea that there might be someone rotating or something. The moment he checked it, there wasn't anyone, so he thought, okay, maybe let me just try to go to mid and try to rotate from tunnels or something like that. But that clearly was not the case, because we did find a guy out there who was able to get that kill onto him. And let's see how it's going to pan out. We are here into the 10th round, and we see a couple of guys from the T side making their way onto A long doors, and we are going to see the bomber waiting at site. Bomb waiting at spawn out there.
That's actually Sukamoru with that bomb right there. He's just going to be keeping his eye over at mid, but sadly, the smoke is going to be there. That is going to be preventing a lot of information, but Vuki seems to be in a really good position. If Maxi is going to be pushing forward, that is going to be a grave mistake, but I think Maxi knows better. He's going to be backing off, I guess, and we do see an A setup coming up right there. There is going to be one guy at LT making sure that Sky Esports, whatever rotations they're going to be doing, that is going to be caught out right now. And we do see the A short push coming from the side of Alter Ego Esports. This is very technically, this is very textbook CSGO being played by Alter Ego Esports. They're just waiting and baiting right there. But no, ZXC is going to go down, but Redco is going to get taken down in exchange. And Forsmark, he's going to be keeping an eye over at mid. He's going to be missing the first set of shots right there, and Forsmark is just making his way onto a short. He is going to be able to survive well. Alessa is going to be able to get that kill onto the guy in CD Ram. And Boogie, okay, he is going to get caught out by Maxi right there over at the pit area, and the bomb has been planted, and Forsmark is going to be defending a short by himself, while Alessa is going to be keeping an eye over at Highway, and one guy is going to be there at Goose as a, I don't know, insurance or something. And we do see Forsmark, he is going to be able to get that easy kill onto Josh. He just peeks that at the wrong moment, and Forsmark and his friends are going to be retreating right now. They know that the last person from Sky, that is going to be Maxi, he is going to be trying to go for the save, so they're just going to try to get a hunt on, and maybe they can get the kill, but it looks like that is highly unlikely, as he is going to just stay at the back of the site, back of the UT tunnels, and this is going to be an easy round for Alter Ego Esports. So this is just looking a little bit sad right there. And by the way, the op which they did use in this round was the ones which they secured from the previous one. And this is like, I don't know, like the way things are going, I feel like Sky Esports' economy is going to be in shambles in a round or two. So they have to maybe, have a little bit of change of tactics or something, because things are not really working out for them. Maybe they secure the first 2 rounds, but I don't know how this feels like.
I mean, yes, we are gonna see them actually, they should be actually taking a timeout or something, or just trying to regroup themselves, because clearly whatever they're doing till now is not really working out. And just look at that, they're just leaking away with just like that, and we are gonna see ZXC as well as his teammates making his way out there. There's a guy right in front of him. What is going on out here? How did they not see that coming? And ZXC making the most of that is gonna clear out B by himself. This is such a pathetic play coming out there from Sky. I really don't understand how they did not look at mid, and this was a certainly, and in fact that there was not a single smoke that was being put by the T sides to cover CT was really baffling at that point of time, because he literally just went through the smoke. I mean, he just went through CT and just went away. And I really don't understand what went wrong out there. Probably they decided to stack or something like that. I really don't understand that, because even if you wanted to stack, you just went for a buy, and that's really something which they need to question themselves about, and probably they should be taking a timeout or something to see what they can do. Just look at that. We see all the people from the T side making their way on A, leaving the bomb just like that, just to see if they are gonna, hunt them down or something like that. But we actually see that coming. We actually see the timeout coming there finally for Sky Esports, and this is what I was telling you about. Even after he was able to get down Josh, I really don't understand how the call out was not given out there. Probably he didn't know where he got hit from, and the sounds which were coming from there was pretty evident that he was coming from mid. And I really don't understand how he was not able to see that. But yeah, in that kind of situation, anybody would be doing the same thing as well, because there is a lot of pressure mounting on you, given that you have already been losing about 4 rounds, and the deficit of 4 or 5 rounds will actually be adding to your morale. And I get it. It's about that. And at the end of the day, it's just about the pressure as well, which will be there in such a kind of situation. Because when you're going to look at what is in store for both these teams, the winner will be going on to the finals, and the person who is on the team which is going to lose is going to go back home. So there's a lot to play for, and that is why you probably have been seeing all these kinds of silly errors coming out there from both these teams. And I think that is something which shouldn't be happening in this kind of a situation. But then I still feel that it's bound to happen, given that that is going to be the scene. And let's actually see how this is going to work out right now, because all the 5 of them from both these teams have full bot, and we actually see about 3 of them from the T side making all those buying all those utilities, while we are just gonna see Boogie as well as Alessa, both the guys who have been quite instrumental in their previous games as well, just not buying any of those utilities. To see what is gonna go on right now. 3-8 is the scoreline. 5 round is gonna be the it's actually gonna be the
deficit, and we are gonna be seeing Alter Ego Esports. They're gonna be taking mid control very easily, and as you said, this was their mistake previously. And look at that, the smoke has been put down, and that is gonna mean that the people who are in CT will not be able to communicate with those over at B. And it looks like Alter Ego Esports, they are going to be going for an A right now. Alessa is trying to get that kill on the guy who is on site. There is going to be a guy making his way from CT Ram, and Eugene is going to go down right now, as Alessa is going to be getting that another kill onto Josh right there. And that is going to be Maxi trying to retreat, but no! Over at A long doors is going to be Boogie, and he is going to be able to get that kill. And look at Alessa. He is making sure that they play Sky SG around. ZXE is going to get taken down over at mid. Sky SG is going to be making his way onto CT Ram, but no, it feels like things are looking a little bit better for Sky Esports, as Alessa is going to be playing from A shot. He needs to be careful, and look at that, he is crouching. He's making sure that he's not visible, but he is going to be able to get that kill onto Sky SG, and he is going to go down though right now, as Redco is going to be able to secure the kill. The guy Sukamoro, who is on Goose though, he is going to go down right now, but the bomb though, it is looking to... Okay, they will be able to get the defuse.
They will be able to get that. It's going to be pretty easy for them. And it was quite sweaty for Alter Ego Esports as well as Sky Esports out there, because, for a moment I actually thought they had it, but a beautiful 1-on-2 coming out there from the CT side. And this is what I was telling you about. He was actually at a good angle. Alessa was able to get the first kill out there, as this is what I was telling you about. Sky was able to get that first kill onto them, and Redco with that 1v2 right at the end, and also making the defuse. And the bot shot coming from Sukamoto made him pay out there, as they are gonna, they're gonna make this deficit by just about 4 rounds from 5 right now, as we still have about 2 more rounds after this one to see what is going to happen at the end of the first half. And let's actually see what's going to happen. The tag coming out there from the guy at pit is going to do about 19 HP of damage to ZXE, but then he is going to get back up out there from in the form of his teammate. But ZXE is going to trade him out, and that is going to be a free A long. But then there's going to be one more person who's coming out there. With the ZXE is just about 4 HP. Any kind of shot coming out there, or any kind of utility coming out there, is going to make sure that he's going to go down. But it's going to be Eugene who is going to save the day for his team, as he's actually able to get one more kill out there. And Josh is going to make sure that his teammate is going to get the cover that he deserves. And the spray coming out there, he just empties a magazine through smoke, and he gets one as well. And Alessa is going to be the last person alive, and he is also at A long doors as well, and he's literally surrounded, because there is a person right near the bomb drop out there, and he is, he's pretty much sandwiched at this point of time. He's got to get a guy at left. A couple of guys at his left side. There's one at pit, and there's a guy making right behind him, and that is going to be really hard for him. And rightly said, that's going to be another round there for Sky Esports. They are finally getting their things back again, and that is going to be about 2 rounds for them in a row.
And yes, Sky Esports, I guess the timeout really is good for them at the end, huh? I mean, they have been making their plays happen right now, and compared to the last round, this one was more refined, and defense was being made pretty easily. I would actually credit that to the fact that Alter Ego Esports, their execution for the A-long push was quite a bit shoddy, so I'm not gonna take that away from them, as we do see Alter Ego Esports, they are gonna be forced into pistols right now, and Alessa, he's just gonna be lurking around. He is gonna be split up with his team, trying to gather as much information as he can. Since Sky Esports, I guess they have an idea that, okay, Alter Ego Esports are gonna be in the pistols, so maybe if they make a reckless play or something, Alessa can catch them with their pants down. So we do see Redco, who is going to be playing over from the platform from B, and it looks like the shots are going to line, but no, Fastmark has made his way into the side right there, but no, Sky SG is going to be there. He will be able to get that kill. Josh is also going to be there trying to give him some backup. Redco is going to be able to get the kill onto the guy who's in UT, and ZXC is going to be the last person who is going to be alive, but no, he is going to be taken down by Redco, and that I guess it looks like Alter Ego Esports, their execution is going a little bit south right there. Since the past 2 rounds, they've been making a lot of mistakes.
I mean, I really felt that they got a little complacent in the last 2 rounds, because they know that they have the lead with them, and probably they just wanted to play around or something like that, try something new, but that really did not turn out the way they expected it. And let's actually see how it's going to work out right now, because this is going to be the last round in the first half. Sky Esports is 2 rounds away from leveling it with Alter Ego Esports, as we are going to see the last round of this first half. 2 orbs coming out there for Sky Esports, while we are just going to see the solitary AWP in the name of Sukamoto, while we're going to see about 4 AKs for Alter Ego Esports. The flash coming in, blinding one of those players who are at duty, and we see about 2 guys making their way out there, while we are going to see a couple of them trying to take the mid control along with the bomber. It's going to be Sukamoto who's going to get the first frag, and Boogie has already made it outside smoke, and this is probably the time where they should be going out and trying to make a push for themselves. And looks like Fosmok is making his way out of mid, and yet again there's going to be a mid leak again for them. Fosmok is not going to look at his right side, and Sky SG is going to make them pay for it. But then this is going to be, I think, an easy plant for them as they're making their way out. Then Yuji's going to spot one. He's going to get one as well. And Maxi as well as his teammates are rallying up right now. 3-on-2 is the score right now. 3-on-2 is going to be the situation now. And the bomb is going to get faked now. He didn't actually go for the plant. That's going to be some time coming in for the CT side, as the Molly and smokes are out. And they are going to go and try to make the plant. But no, they are not planting it. The bomb is going to be down. And that is going to be Sky Esports finally getting it back, and now they are back on almost level terms, because there's just 1 round between both these teams, and a lot of things can change in the second half. What a way to end the first half for Sky Esports. They literally had it their way ever since the timeout had been taken from their side, and now that the sides are switching, let's see what they have in store from the T side, because we actually saw a lot of leaks coming in from
Alter Egos.
Alter Ego, and I think this is the time where they shouldn't be doing something like that as well, because they pretty much know how they were able to get on to B pretty easily, and I think they have the clear idea that that shouldn't be repeated. And we are going to look at a B rush coming out there from Sky Esports, while Redco is going to watch mid as well as A short. Let's see how that's going to work out right now. They are planning to play time out there, as we are going to see Redco, who is going to get tagged there for some damage out there, as Woogie is making his way up across short, and he is going to spot Redco out there. There might be a fight out here. They are fighting against each other, and looks like he is going to fall back onto lower tunnel right now, as we are going to see a B push coming out there from the T side, as Josh is going to get the first kill out there. Sky has already made it out there. This is 1 person right on top of that heaven, and Josh is going to get him as well, and it's going to be a 5-on-3. The T side have not lost a single person right now, and they have planted the bomb as well, so that is going to be an advantage for Sky Esports, as all they need to do is just play time, as Fosmog is going to get met upon by 3 people if he's just going to peek his head out there. And let's see what's going to happen. He is going to peek out. He is going to spot out 1 person, and right his head is going to get blown off by Sky with that headshot from his pistol, and he might probably get another one as well. And Sky Esports, for the first time in this game, they are leveling it right now after a long time, I would say. And looks like they are back on the comeback course. I would say the pistol round is going to give them a lot of a morale boost, as well as a lot of money as well, because they had planted the bomb, and let's actually see how their buys are going to look at right now. 2 AKs, 2 UMPs, as well as a scout. Well, when you're going to look at the CD side, which is going to see about 2P250s, as well as about 3 USPs, none of them going for armors or anything like that, and they are deciding to split it onto 2-1-1. And I mean, sorry, 2-2-1, and that is quite surprising because we usually don't see a lot of
Okay, it
people.
is a 2-1-2 right now because the guy who is at mid is gonna try to go for a push right there, but that might be a sad mistake as the guy over at T-spawn is keeping an eye over there. But we do see Eugene over at the long doors. He will be able to get that kill onto Vugi as we see Alessa who is playing a little bit too close for comfort right there near UT. If he actually makes the push, he might be able to catch the guy who is in UT off guard. But as the longer he waits, it is gonna get harder right now. As Sky is G, he is gonna be retreating right there. As Alessa is gonna be making the push, and what a good timing for Sky Esports to actually back off. They're not gonna be losing any players at this course. And we do see Sky, they do have the advantage right now. And we do see the guy over at LT, he is going to be able to get that kill. He's going to be able to get 2 kills. And ZXC and Alessa are going to be going down. As Josh over at A Short is going to be able to get the kill on Sukamoto over at mid. Postmark, he is going to be able to catch Eugene off guard. But no, Eugene is going to be able to get the return kill on the Postmark. And that is going to be one more round going the way of Sky Esports.
And they finally got the lead as well. And what a play coming on there. They literally got it from nowhere. And they finally look like they are going to close it in from them. And it's like they are snatching away something from the jaws of defeat. And even though this is quite early to call that, I would really say that about a 5-round or 6-round lead at the end of the first half is something which is almost towards the fag end of the first half. And then coming back and getting just about one round between them at the end is quite impeccable, and the way they have been playing for a while is going to be really is actually helping them out. That is giving them some dividends, and I think that is something which they will look to carry on as Alter Ego Esports are now at the back foot. We are going to see a lot of all the 5 people from Sky Esports making their way on A long, while we are going to see them make a play for themselves. We see about 1 person at CT and about a couple of them going on to A shot. None of them at long. However, we are going to see the smoke getting put out there from CD side so that they can probably go on to A side, and we are going to see Boogie who's going to get one. He can probably get another as well, but he is going to go down, and there is a guy who is going to back him up, and Alessa is going to get distracted courtesy of his teammate who was making it from A shot, and that is going to allow the T side to put that molly and get some more time for themselves to make a plan, in which they have finally done it. And there is going to be 1 person coming out there from the CT side, and he's going to go down as well, and UT is going to get one, and all of a sudden it's going to be Alessa who is going to be the last person alive as he's making his way onto mid right from A shot. He can also get met upon by these guys if they decide to go on for a hunt, and that clearly is not going to be the case, I guess, because we still see 1 more person out there who is still at A long, trying to see if there might be any backstab or if there might be any chance of Alessa trying to go for those exits, as we are going to see 1 round out here again for
Sky Esports. And yeah, this is gonna be very tough as you see, Alter Ego Esports. The only gun which they have saved is the M4A1S, which is going to be there. Except for that, I don't think they will be able to buy any more guns, and they will have to play around that 1 gun. So this is gonna be quite difficult. Look at how Redco actually played that. He got the kill onto the guy who was trying to make that flank. And you have to give credit where it's due. Eugene made sure that he got that entry frag as they got into the A side. We see Redco over at mid. He is going to be going for that flash over there with mid. A little bit confusing right there since it was already getting smoked right now. And we do see we do see a 4-stack over at B from Alter Ego Esports. They are going to be going for a push over at UTs. They might be able to catch Sky SG alone, and Sky SG, he is going to be caught alone right there, and he will be able to get killed right now as Alessa is going to be going down to Redco from Sky, and things are looking a little bit bad for Alter Ego Esports as the A side is going to be completely free, but they have to be careful because there is going to be 1 guy playing from CT, as that is going to be ZXC, and ZXC is trying to make his way onto the cars area, and he will be able to spot the guy out, but no, Redco is a little bit quicker on the trigger finger, and he will be able to get that kill. Look at the bomb. The bomb has actually been planted on top of the grate right there, but Fosmark with that M4A1S which he saved, he will be able to get those 2 quick frags, and things are looking a little bit bad for him, and he is trying to make his way onto site right now. He needs to be careful, but no, Josh is gonna be playing right across the highway, and he will be able to get that kill on the first mark, and that is going to be the M4A1S, which he saved in the previous round, going down once more. So this is looking very bad for Alter Ego Esports. They started off this game with such a huge lead, and the mistakes that they keep on piling again and again, it feels like Sky Esports are not letting go of that. If they saw that one wound and they were just pouring salt over it and putting acid and doing whatever the hell, man. Like it's getting a little bit out of control for them.
I mean, as I really felt that whatever mistakes Sky Esports had done when they were at the scene side, they made sure that they are gonna exploit whatever Alter Ego had been doing this time, and I think that is gonna be the same case right now. Because when you're gonna look at how T side has been played by Sky Esports, they are just stacking together. They're just sticking together. We see all the 5 people sticking together and then going on to any side whichever they want to, while just one person who might be just watching the backstab just going on and trying to rotate and check the backstab, or probably even push and flank it out, because that's how they have been playing. But which is that's actually quite contrasting to the way Alter Ego Esports have been playing, because they more of try to influence the mid control, which we had seen in the first half. They always wanted to go for the mid control. They always wanted to take those areas and mid. But look at that. Boogie is going to get about a couple of... He actually got 3 of them out there, courtesy of the double kill out there. And he gets a 4K, but he goes down. And Redco is going to take him down. He is going to be the last person alive. And he just botches the shot. Or else he could have just got that shot onto Tsukamoto, I guess. And that's going to be an op coming in for Tsukamoto. Just look at that. He got that first kill for the guy who was making it onto pit. And then he was able to get that double just with that one bullet out there. And then the last person who he got was almost there at side. And then he was taken there by Tsukamoto.
That was an ace getting denied for Woogie, but I don't think he's going to complain about that, since they did manage to get that round. And right now, though, the deficit is going to be a little bit high. We do see ZXC, though, he is going to get tagged out there over at mid by Red Crew's op right there. And Woogie, he is going to be playing from A short right now. He is trying to catch the guy over at LT. He might be able to do so, and he's sadly not able to spot him out, but he does hear some noise, I guess, or else he will not be looking over at LT. Woogie is going to be retreating for now, though. He is going to be playing from on side, and it looks like the job from defending LT is going to be given to the guy who's going to be playing over at mid. And we see Maxi, he's going to be throwing down that Molotov right there, making sure that there is no surprise waiting for him right behind the mid doors, as Maxi's going to be keeping an eye over at the crossing at mid, making sure that no funny rotations are going to be made by Alter Ego Esports. But sadly, that is not going to be the case. It looks like Frostmark and his friends, they're just going to be standing their ground. Frostmark is going to be backed up by Woogie right there. We do see the Molotovs coming in. Frostmark will be able to get 2 kills. No, he's going to be able to get 1 kill, and that is going to be him going down, though, right now. The Molotov being put over there at A short is going to make sure that they will not be able to push anytime soon. And the Woogie is still going to be alive, though, so he is just going to be playing a little bit safer over at A side. Sky SG, they are trying to make a setup over there. They're just making sure that they smoke off CT, and that is probably going to be a B. But little do they know that there are 2 people over at B defending that, and Tsukamoto primed up that flash, and he will be able to get that first kill. He's trying to go for the second one, but no, sadly he does go down. But Woogie from CT, he's going to be able to get those kills, and Alessa follows it up by getting the kill on Eugene, and Sky SG with 1 HP. But no, that is not going to be mercy for you, my friend, as ZXC is going to be finishing up that kill by getting that with a headshot. And what a comeback which Alter Ego Esports is doing right now, my friend.
I mean, I wouldn't just call it a comeback, but then this is just like, it's going 1 round apiece for both these teams, because when you're going to look at comeback, what the CT side had, what the T side had been doing was called a comeback, because Sky they were actually trailing by about 4 or 5 rounds in the first half, and then they made it and they were able to get the lead out there. But then after what happened after the first round, which they had as a lead, it's just been going on for Alter Ego trying to level it up, and then we see Sky trying to get another round again. And that has been the case in the last 4-5 rounds, and we are going to see a push coming out there from Sky Esports. They've already made it on the side. The Molly is going to make sure that they are going to get damaged for a while, but the bomb has been planted. The damage has already been done, and let's see whether they can put some more into Alter Ego Esports, because we are going to look at 3 ops out here, and just one M4 out there coming out there from the players, and Redco is going to get 1 as well. That's going to leave it into a 4-on-3 right now. 2 of them making their way from A longs, and we see Josh going to take out 1 more person out there. Then that's going to be about 2 ops going in the favor of the T side, while Woogie as well as his teammate are going to try to wait it out at pit right now to see if they can take some exits, and it's going to be Wookie who's going to get Redco out there. But then all is not lost for Sky Esports. They just got this round and they are just going to throw. Did he just throw it off?
Well, I don't think he did. He was just, messing around with that. And by the way, that previous round, Sky Esports, they just bought pistols, and that means that they have a bunch of free guns to work with, and they also have enough money to, make sure that the rest of their team is gonna be filled up with those guns, and that is gonna be quite bad news for Alter Ego Esports because the deficit between both of these teams is just going to be 2 rounds, and Sky Esports are bringing one back every time Alter Ego is making a mistake, and Alter Ego made so many mistakes in the previous round, especially ZXCV. He was actually, looking over at CT while the site was actually claimed over there, but Woogie, oh my god, that was a little bit slow from him, and Redco is going to be punishing him for that mistake, and let's see if that mistake is going to be leading to Alter Ego Esports losing this round or not, because things are not looking that well. But Josh is gonna get killed up by Tsukamoto right there over near the upper mid area right now, and Alessa is gonna be watching mid a little bit closer towards the doors, and it looks like Maxi is gonna be making the plays happen. I think the smoke and the flashes are gonna be put down, and maybe Alessa might be able to get that kill. Alessa is still holding that ground, being unfazed by the usage of utilities coming from the side of Sky Esports, and it looks like the bomb, though, it is gonna be put near the T-spawn, and nobody's yet made a move from Sky Esports, and maybe this is, maybe a change of pace for Alter Ego Esports. They have been constantly being rushed by Sky Esports, but right now, though, it is a little bit slower, so maybe they have enough time to think and regroup as to where the push might be coming from.
I mean, I'm not really sure about that because all till now they have been playing the aggression game, but now they are going to play the time game. They just have about 30 seconds. The flashes and all are going to signal that this might be an A. The molly is coming out there, and that's going to give them their location away. And let's see how that's going to work out. The smokes and the mollies are going to get primed up right now. The smoke has been thrown out there, so they are just waiting for the smoke to come out so that they can try to avoid the opera out there. Tsukamoto is watching his first shot. There is a guy who is at CT. There is a guy at site as well. So this is clear information coming out there from the CT side that this is going to be an A, and let's see how that's going to work out. Tsukamoto is going to boost Alessa up, but then Alessa is going to go down after taking one person out there. The bomb is going to get planted in, so Frostmark is going to get one out there, and that is going to be the round for Alter Ego Esports. And this is what I was telling you about. They tried to play time, but that really did not work out for him. A beautiful blue boost coming out there from Wookie, but then the flash coming out really blinding him up. The plant coming out there, and then Frostmark just making sure that he was in time and making sure that he was able to get the bomber. Made sure that they are just going to get this one round. And like you and me were saying about some time back, this is going haywire. Both these teams are just getting one back and just, this is just going back and forth. It's going right down to the wire. We really can't, decide who is going to be the winner of this first game because it's going neck to neck, and it's just about time where we are just going to wait and see who is going to get this map, because right now this is going to be a 4-on-5 in favor of Alter Ego Esports, courtesy of Maxi just going down. And
yeah, it was very hard right there. I thought it was actually Redco who actually went down, since it was going to be the pick from the offer from T-spawn, but no, sadly it was going to be Maxi, and Redco is still alive, so maybe they still have some hope. And we have seen his expertise with the AWP. We see Alessa over at CT. He's going to be playing that a little bit safer. Frostmark, he knows that he does not want to mess over there. He does hear some shots, and we do see the flashes coming in, so Frostmark is going to be backing off for now, making sure that long doors are going to be secure. There's also going to be one more of his friend, making sure that nothing really bad happens right there. But Alessa, oh my god, he might have the call of his life, but no, sadly that is not going to be the case, as SkySG is going to be able to get the kill, but no, ZXC is going to be going down over there over at Heavens. But no, we do see Tsukamoto, he's going to be getting 3 kills, maybe he's going to be a 4, but no, that is going to be the Molotov coming from Boogie, that is going to be able to get the kill on the Redco, and that is going to be the scoreboards once more getting evened out between Sky and Alter Ego Esports. And this is just looking to be very fun, man. Like seeing a classic game of Dust 2 and seeing scoreboards like this being very even right now. This is just getting a little it's getting a little emotional for
I mean, yes, we have been. I think this is actually going to be the first time we are going to see a game going so close to an overtime or something like that, as we are going to see a tactical timeout coming out there from Sky. And let's actually see how they are going to work out as they are just about 3 rounds away from match point, and so are Alter Ego Esports. And right now, Alter Ego Esports have won about 2 rounds in a row. And looking at the economy of both these teams, I really think that Sky Esports really need to hold their nerve right now because they're not really well. They're not really sound in terms of their economy. Just about 2 grand is what they have. But then we are looking at a full buy coming in for Alter Ego Esports, and looks like even Alter Ego Esports are going for a timeout right now. So both the teams are going for timeouts, and they are even in terms of the timeouts, I guess. Both of them taking at the same time. So
Hey man.
that's how ironic this game is.
Okay, it is kind of ironic as you say. Okay, this is gonna be quite a tough thing for them to go forward to. We are gonna be seeing round number 25 being underway. 12-12 is the scoreline right now, and let's see. Oh, okay, it looks like the Alter Ego Esports managed to get one more timeout. What the hell? It looks like they're just buying some time. I guess one of them went to pee or something. Maybe like that's still a scenario we can take into mind, since sitting in one place and playing CS:GO for a long
assumptions
time,
aside,
the nervous feelings that you get when you have the game in your grasp and you just throw it like that. I'm talking about you, Alter Ego Esports.
I mean, not just that. I really think that these timeouts are really crucial, especially in these kinds of situations when it's 12-12 apiece, and to see if how this is gonna go on for both these teams. They have a lot to do. They have a lot of things they need to work on, and I think it looks like a technical pause coming out there because usually it actually looks like a technical pause, some kind of an issue from one of these players, I guess. And let's see how that's going to work out. Because right now, from the road in front of us, we really think that I really think that both of these teams are gonna be really it's hard to predict even in this kind of situation, but I really think that Alter Ego Esports have it from now, because when you're gonna look at the buys and everything, it's just about this round whether Alter Ego Esports are winning it or not. Because if they are gonna lose this round, it's gonna be sky all the way is what I feel. Because even though they are pretty good in terms of their pistol games and everything, you really can't expect that every time that you are gonna go for pistols you will be winning the round. And we are gonna see a B push coming out there, and we see ZXC who's gonna get about 2 kills, and it's gonna be Tsukamoto who's gonna follow up with another 2 as well. And Josh is going to get a couple of them as well. And it's going to be Josh who is going to be the last person alive against 3 of the people. And Boogie has a clear idea where Josh is. He is going to flash him up, and he is going to try to take him down. The molly is going to come out, and he's going to spot him right onto his head and hit him with that bullet. And that is going to be 1 round in the favor of Alter Ego Esports. And they're just 2 rounds away from getting into match point. Look at that. Tsukamoto as well as ZXC were able to get those 2 kills. And it was Boogie who managed to finish that off. And exactly, it was a bloodbath, all the 5 rushing together, like all of them rushing on together just with pistols and 1 SMG. That's obviously suicidal, but then you have no other option at this point of situation, because it's quite desperate at this point of time. You can't really go for an eco. All you have to do is just try to force it out. And when you are going to go for an eco or something like that, you should be sticking together, and that is what Sky did. And unfortunately, they didn't get that round. And look at that, they are not still good with their economy, because we're going to see about just 3 AKs, 1 Beagle coming out there, as well as Galil, and a handful of utilities coming out there for both these teams. And I think right now Alter Ego Esports are in a firm position right now, as we see the T side making their way onto A shot, and looks like they are gonna make it into an A push or something like that. Probably they are gonna fake it out like they usually do. The Molly is coming out there in the right time. Is going to buy some time for the CTs to make sure that they are going to rotate in case this is going to be an A, and I think they are going to go back again. They are quite indecisive at this point of time. They're just waiting for Alter Ego Esports to make a move right now, which clearly won't be the case at this point of time. And looks like they are going to smoke out CTs out there, and probably trying to jump out from A long as well as A short, and trying to actually push it out. The molly coming in is actually not going to help him out, and that is going to be Josh as well as Eugene who are making their way out there. Josh is going to get another as well, and all of a sudden this is going to be a 5-on-2 in favor of Sky. Looks like they are going to wrap this round, as well as Alessa as well as Tsukamoto are left with no other option than to save this round, because they know the value of their guns at this point of time, and so do Sky Esports, because right now both of them are in a similar situation right now in terms of their economy as well as their round differences, I would say, because both of them will be 13-3 at this point of time, because we see Alter Ego Esports players, they are just saving it out. So I guess this is this is actually too close to call, I would say.
Well, this is going to be Sky Esports round, as you said. Nothing being taken away from that, and they do know that they need to save that gun from Alter Ego Esports, so they're just going to be hiding for their lives. And it looks like Sky Esports, even they don't want to risk going for a hunt because they also know, okay, their guns are going to be pretty much the thing which is going to be making or breaking the game. And you have to give credit where it's due. Josh, my man, he gets the initial frag onto Wookie, and Wookie is not someone who's that easy to deal with because his entry frag game is pretty goddamn good, and we are going to be seeing the guns being swapped over there at T spawn. Wookie's going to be making his way on to B right now, which is pretty weird. I've actually seen him play a lot over at mid and A long, but we do see Sky SG. He is going to be playing with that AUG. Quite ironic since he is playing over the T side.
And surprisingly, we really don't see the CT boost coming out there on mid usually, which is what they do at the start of the round. And we just see one person playing at close at mid, and we see Woogie hitting out with the first frag onto Sky, and that's going to give them an early advantage for Alter Ego Esports 5 on 4. They anyways went for a full buy out there, not a lot of utilities for them, just about a smoke as well as a couple of flashes and an incendiary out there, and Boogie picking up a smoke out there from the person whom he just killed. And we are going to see them, we are going to see actually the T side making their way out there on the mid, and looks like Boogie is going to go all the way across the T base, as we are going to see the T side making their way on A shot. And let's see how that's going to work out. We see about 4 of them making their way out there. Redco and Maxi are going to get a couple of kills out there. Sukamoto is going to be a guy who will be guarding outside out there. The Molly is going to come out and try to force him out, and he's actually going to get another Molly right to his face. And Josh is making his way just with, and we still have just one more person out there with 1 HP at sight, and he's making his way on a shot. And looks like yet again Alter Ego Esports are going to look to save this round, and that is clearly not going in their favor. And look at that, they won't be having enough money to buy in the next round as well. So all they need to do is probably just wait at pit. The Oppo could probably wait at pit and try to get some exits, because that could do at least some kind of damage to Sky's economy in the next round. Because anyways, this is beyond, this is beyond contest in this round. I would suggest that, probably they could just try to go for the exits, because that's something which is ideal. Because even though they are not able to get this round, they can probably get those guns, or maybe even get those frags and cause some damage to their economy. And Boogie is going to get one more, as well as Fosmok is going to be on Pursuit right now, as we see one more person coming out there from T side. But then that is not going to do anything right now, as we are going to see both these teams who are just about rounds away, just about 2 rounds away from winning this, and about 2 rounds away from sending this game into overtime as well. Let's hope that that actually goes on to overtime. If you guys actually think that this will be going on for overtime or something, just get down to the comment section, give your predictions on who is going to win this, because right now this is going right down to the wire, and we are loving this game right now. 14-13 is the scoreline right now, but we are looking at a push coming out there from the D side, making their way, all the 4 of them who are coming on there. But then this is going to be, oh my god, this is actually pathetic coming out there. This is actually a catastrophe. We see all the 4 people who are making on their way onto a push, who are going to go down. Redco is going to be the last person alive. He is going to try to secure the bomb, but he really can't do anything at this point in time. The only thing he can do is try to, he can probably try to take an exit and then go back and try to save that orb, because that was a blunder which was committed by the T side. All the 4 of them going blindly onto B, just rushing when they had full bought that round. They could have just played time. They pretty much knew that Alter Ego Esports were not that good in terms of their economy, but they just gave in to the trap which Alter Ego Esports had set for them. And looks like Woogie is going to go in pursuit of the guy who is at T-base. And Redco and Woogie, both of them offers for their respective teams, are going to try to find out each other. Redco, however, just has one objective, just to save his gun and probably try to take an exit. But if he's going to look at his left side, he's going to spot Woogie, who unsuspectingly is just going to stay there at mid and watch mid out there. And he is trying to guard this place, and he does not know that there's a guy right behind him. Can they actually spot each other out? This seems like some kind of soap opera, I guess.
Yeah, you know what? That is exactly the word which I was looking for. Look at that. I think Redco, if he moved a little slower, he could actually spot out Woogie's head right behind those crates. But okay, Woogie just played us off. That was kind of confusing right there. I thought the Woogie was just gonna sit there until the end of time or something, but no. Sadly, he will be able to get that kill right there. That is gonna be denying a lot of money and a lot of guns right now. But Sky Esports did save up quite a bit, so they can, buy for one more round, because both of these guys are going to be at match point right now, and we see the boost over at A short coming from Alter Ego Esports. Boogie is going to be playing at A short, and we see Maxi and his friends, they are going to be pushing over at A long right now. We do see the CZ coming from the side of Sky SG, and okay, we do see Sky SG. He is gonna get spotted on Boogie with that shot. He is gonna be tagging him for a lot of damage, and Forsmark is gonna be making the push onto A long. Okay, maybe not. He's just gonna be playing that a little slower, and since there is gonna be a guy over at the A side, they can still try to make sure that they pincer Sky Esports from making the push happen. But it looks like Long is gonna be given away. Maybe not. Okay, it looks like Alter Ego Esports, they're gonna play it a little slower.
Nobody's actually watching Long from the CT side, and it's actually the person who is waiting at the CD spawn who is going to spot out the guys if they are going to smoke out A long or something like that. We see Forsmark making his way on an A shot, and we still see one more person out there at T spawn as well, who actually happens to be Boogie, who has rotated all the way out there, and we see the push coming out there from the T side, making their way on to Long. And let's see how it's going to work out. We see Forsmark waiting straight at side, and we see about 3 people making their way through the smoke, and I think ZXC is going to spot them out. Forsmark is going to go down, ZXC is going to get a couple of them, and that's going to leave just about 2 people from the C side who are making their way on the side. The bomb is still not yet planted, the boost coming out at the right time. We'd probably just try to get one guy, and the last guy from the T side is going to make his way on the side. Can he actually do something out here? The bomb is dropped as well. He needs to go and get the bomb and go for the plant. Alyssa has his cross as set, but then Eugene's going to get one. He could probably get another one as well. He is just pointing right at the crosser where there is a person out there, but the bomb is still yet to be planted. He spots a guy at A shot. There's a guy right at CT as well. There's like too many people for him to focus at once, but then he is going to get the headshot onto him, and he should go for the plant right now. He shouldn't be making the mistake which he made in the last game. He makes the plant successfully. He could probably try to take that. What is going on? Eugene's going to get one as well. 1 on 3. Yet again 1 on 2 right now, and 1 on 1. He is just 1 against Boogie. Both of the players who have been the most important players for the team, and it is going to be Boogie who ends up victorious in that, and he gets this round for Alter Ego Esports, and he almost even fakes that out. What a play coming out there from both these teams. Sky Esports literally snatched that away from Alter. Ego.
Gene played that so goddamn well. If I could actually get to use the words which I wanted to use, I would use better ones, but this is all I can do. Sky Esports, Eugene, you are a goddamn god, and you saw the kill that he got as the guy was jumping right there. That was some next level shit, man. Like, that was not something you can... That is some really pro level shit right there, and that is gonna be adding up to Sky Esports' reputation. And we do see Sky, though, even though they did make the plays happen in the previous round, sadly, they did manage to lose that, so they are going to be going for a timeout right now. Try to get their guns together, try to get their strategy together, because they don't have a lot of money to work with, and we will be seeing how that is going to be working out. They are going to be just forcing it out right now. Maybe a bunch of SMGs and a bunch of AKs.
Probably they can go for AKs, as you can see out there. Just about 3 guys going on for AKs, and the other ones will probably go on for the utilities, because that is something which is quite necessary in a situation like that, and they really can't afford to throw this round away, because they are just about a round away from letting Alter Ego Esports win this, or probably forcing on to overtime. We see all the 4 people coming on there. We see all the 5 of them sticking together, and they are making their way on an A shot. The guy with the AK is making his way right in front. Probably they are trying to throw those mollies and smokes coming out there, and the molly is going to do a lot of damage to just one person out there. Not really a lot of damage, just about 13 HP is what the damage was done to Eugene, and let's see how that's going to work out. The smoke is going to settle right onto that ledge out there, and that's going to allow the T side to make their way right across A shot, and the molly is going to get settled out there, and Boogie is going to get that first shot again, and he is probably going to get another one as a lot of people are making their way on an A, and they have given the information that this is going to be an A push coming out there. The bomb has been planted as well. All they need to do is just sit down and make sure they are going to play time, but there's going to be Alyssa who's going to get one, and he's going to get tweeted out as well. And Sky and his teammates are just fighting for the fight of their lives. It's just going to be a 2-on-4, one of them with a deagle and one of them with an AK, and this is going to be Sukamoto who is going to clinch it for them, and this could be an easy defuse coming in the favor of Alter Ego Esports. Here you are, ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the first map between Sky Esports and Alter Ego. What a game this is proving to be. Alter Ego Esports winning it just by the sake of 2 rounds, and the last 2 rounds were going really down to the wire, and I was literally, I was literally speechless seeing those both rounds out there. Both of them were close. It wasn't like one of these teams were favourite in both of these rounds. It was just going down right to the wire. We really couldn't predict who
I
would
know
be
that
winning
teams
that.
were not favorites, but I certainly know who my favorite players were. It was probably Vuki for the side of Alter Ego Esports and
Of course, Eugene.
Eugene. I mean, like that guy just
You
played
know,
like
we
a
usually
god.
don't agree on some things, but I feel like this is something we
He
just have to
played
agree with.
like a god, like in the previous round, and it was like you. That was a really clutch situation. It was kind of sad that okay he went on to Sukamoto, but he did make that happen. He made sure that the dream was almost real, and sadly it was not. But we are going to be seeing Alter Ego Esports winning the first map of today's game, and that is going to be going towards game number 2, which is going to be Inferno, and which has actually been chosen by the side of Alter Ego Esports. By the way, the Dust 2 map was chosen by Sky Esports, and
And I'd say they just justified that.
yeah,
Even though they
played
lost
that they played that extremely well. They gave us some, I don't know, 2013 CS kind of vibes right there.
I mean, yeah, it actually gave me vibes of that time as well, because that's when you used to have those textbook strats and all coming out there, just going on, smoking out mid and just going on to each of those sites, and that's something which was a fun to watch as well. And I think the second map, which happens to be Inferno, would be as interesting as this as well, because given that this is gonna be Alter Ego's pick, I think this is something which Sky Esports should be looking after with utmost caution, because the way they have been playing in the previous map, it was pretty impeccable. The retakes were on point. There wasn't the conversion rate of the retakes were pretty high as well. Most of the time when the T sides
I
had
like
planted,
how you are, like the words which you use: conversion, dividends.
I mean, of course, I graduated from BCom, so obviously that's something which would be on my glossary
Yeah.
always. So, and speaking about the winners and all of that, guys, we have a couple of giveaways for you as well. We are just reminding you that there's just about little more time left for you guys to go and participate out there. By the way, this is going to be a $5 Steam card giveaway, which you can just redeem yourselves by just getting down to the description and checking out how to participate in that. There is a link out there which you can actually go through and participate, and maybe win yourself a $5 gift code as well, because two of them will be winning it today, and we will actually be letting you know who those winners are after the end of this match as well.
This series right here. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and like Playtonia's Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you guys get to know all the esport tournaments which we are going to be presenting to you. Because as you said, a lot of players from the Southeast Asian regions, they actually participated in this tournament, but a lot of Indian teams, they were like, okay, why do you guys not have any esport competition? But sadly, this one was Southeast Asia exclusive, excluding India, but you guys can participate in a lot more, which is going to be coming up. So go ahead and stay tuned. Also follow us on Instagram, because we are being active in that quite a lot. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, after a short commercial break, we will be seeing you for game number 2 between Alter Ego Esports and Sky Esports. Okay.
My friend, I am tired of this stock AK, man. But it still does the job though, right? Yes, I know. But I want to look cool, you know? Why don't you just go to Playtonia.com, man? Play what?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is OLDBEAR, also known as Siddarth Prashanth, and joining me here is.
This is TANGENBERG, also known as Sriram, Vishaal, and we are here for the second game of today's lower bracket finals between.
This is going to be between Sky Esports and Alter Ego Esports, and we are going to be seeing a map of Inferno, which has been chosen by Alter Ego Esports. And by the way, this best of three series, the first game in the map of Dust 2, was won by Alter Ego Esports, even though the map was being chosen by Sky Esports. So, I think my predictions for this map is going to be Alter Ego Esports, obviously, because if they can perform that well in a map which was chosen by their opponents, in a map which was chosen by themselves, I think their level of performance should be just a level above
I mean,
What?
yes, without any doubt, that could be the case. And looking at the previous map, we actually saw the scoreline being 16-14, where about a couple of times we saw the round slip away from Alter Ego Esports. And then at the end, somehow they just squeezed out a winner from those two rounds. And I think we could be seeing more of that in this map as well, because Sky Esports was showing that they have what it takes to be here. And I think it's just about a map between both these teams out
It's
there.
Eugene, isn't it?
Sorry?
Eugene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that guy has like captured our hearts by his beautiful gameplays right there, especially the one at the east side. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is just not a competition for the players who are seeing in your screen. It is also a competition for you because we are giving away 2 Steam $5 gift cards, and you can avail one of them. And if you want to know how to do that, go ahead and check the description down below and see and follow the instructions which has been given to you, so you can give yourself a chance to win one of those beautiful, not beautiful, very how do
Rewarding
if I
$5.
say something which is giving me a monetary value, calling it rich, am I a gold digger or something?
That wouldn't be the case.
Yeah, good, thank you.
Technically, that wouldn't be the case. But you get the point. It's gonna give you about $5 through the Steam wallet code, which you can buy some game or whatever you want. Obviously, you can't buy CS:GO. Back then, it was possible, but now, so yeah, you can probably avail yourself a $5 gift card wallet if you are just gonna go down to the description and follow the instructions on how to participate. And at the end of the stream, we will be announcing the 2 lucky winners today. And you can feel free to contact us through any of our social media handles. And by the way, do follow our social media handles as well. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as our Instagram and Facebook handles, so that you can stay up to date with whatever esports happenings are coming up with Playtonia as well. And you will be informed, and you will not be missing out on these kinds of tournaments which you are just seeing right now, as we will be heading on to the second map between both these teams, Sky Esports and all the Alter Ego Esports. And 2 of the teams which have been putting down a fight between each other right down to the wire, just like how we saw in the previous game. And in about 5 more seconds, we will be live with the first round of the second map between both these guys. And who will be the team which will face Executioners tomorrow in the finals? This is just about time where we are going to see who it is.
Well, as I said in the beginning of this game, I'm going to be putting my money on Alter Ego Esports, but we'll not be able to confirm anything. As I say it a lot of times, an educated guess, if it may be, and we are going to be seeing the first round between Sky Esports and Alter Ego Esports. We do see a little bit more utility being brought out by Alter Ego Esports, so this is looking to be pretty good for them. We see a 3-2 setup coming right there. One person is going to be lurking around the bananas area, as the players on the side of Alter Ego Esports, they're just gathering up over at second mid, trying to make that push from apartments, and they will be able to do that pretty easily if they don't get caught out or something. And it does not look like anybody's playing over at Boiler Room, nobody's playing at Upper Carpet, so I don't think that it is going to be much of a contest, as Woogie is going to be taking mid control right now, so he is going to be giving a lot of information, and he is the one with all of these utilities. So we do see the smoke being set up, so people from Arches will not be able to get that. And we do see Maxi, who's going to be playing from the pit area. We see the flash coming from Woogie from the mid area, and we do see Tsukamoto. He's going to be jumping down, and he's going to be getting 2 kills right there. Redco and Maxi are going to be going down, and we see Eugene. He is going to be able to get that first kill onto Fosmog, and he is hiding on site, trying to get as much kills as possible. Alessa is going to be going down to Josh, and Josh is going to be going down right there. ZXC, he's going to be getting Alessa, and he's also sorry, not Alessa, he's going to be getting Josh, and he's also going to be getting the kill on the Eugene. So this is going to be Sky SG versus ZXC.
And more importantly, it's going to be ZXC who is going to get the bomb right now. And I don't know how he did not spot it out. The CT side could have actually saw the bomb out there. He could have guarded it, because the moment the person who was handling the bomb had gone down, there was a bomb drop there, which was not quite, which I think Sky was not aware of. And looks like he has made the plant, and he is coming towards the right side. He's not looking behind, and that is going to cost him his life. And that is going to be the first round for Sky Esports in this game.
Well, I can't really take that from ZXC. Maybe he thought, Sky SG was making the long rotation from the outside, from mid. So I'm not really surprised that he did not really decide to look behind him. But if he did, at least he could have, maybe had a chance. But still, this was quality gameplay coming from both these teams. And Sky Esports, they are going to be getting that first pistol round right here, and that is going to be a lot of money. But you can't deny the fact that the bomb plant had been made, so that is going to be enough money for maybe the T side to force. No, I guess they're just going to buy out three pistols right here: a Deagle, a P250, two P250s, and one CZ right there. And let's see how that is going to be working out. And we do see ZXC and his friends are going to be making their way onto second mid. Three people at second mid, while the bomber and one more guy are going to be playing over a T ramp, trying to gather as much information, making sure that there is no funny gameplay coming from Sky Esports, just trying to push out bananas or something. And let's see how that is going to be working out right here. Sky SG with that UMP.
And we actually have about 4 guys with their UMPs out there for the CD side, and let's see how this is going to work out right there, as we are going to see Sky looking for an opening out there to see if Alter Ego Esports are going to make any kind of mistake out there. But looks like they are making their way on arches and apartments right now, as there is just going to be one person out there who is going to guard right behind, but looks though they are making their way on arches. It looks like Tsukamoto is going to get one, and ZXC is going to drop right in front of one more person, but he is not going to get either of them, as they are going to be at an advantage right now. And Frostmock and his teammates are going to make a push out there on a CT, and that is going to allow Sky to make his way back on the B side. And let's see how that's going to work out right now. 2 of them from A are rotating all the way onto bananas, and they are going to fake it again. They're going to make their way on A. What a play coming out there from Alter Ego Esports. They literally, evaded Sky Esports about a couple of times in the same round, and we still see one more person out there from A side one more person out there from the CT side who is making his way onto apartments. And let's see how that's going to work out. The UMP out there, which is with Alessa, is going to help him out, as well as Boogie, and probably he's going to go down. And this is not what they expected at this point of time. We see the bomb, which is going to be right out there, and Alessa is going to get spotted. He is going to get compromised, and that is going to be one more round there for Sky Esports, I guess, as this could have been a round for Alter Ego, the way they had been playing, the way they were able to fake out the sides a couple of times in a span of just 15 seconds. I thought they would be holding it down, but that really was not the case. I
guess their objective was just to get the bomb planted, and they succeeded with that, so that means they will be able to get a full buy round. And by the way, this round they did not really buy a lot of things.
They just went for pistols, and just about that is going to be a good pistol round for them either ways, because that's like you said, they have enough money for them to buy some good utilities and all of that, and that is actually going to help them out in the next round as well, even if they are going to lose this one, because that's going to give them a lot of backup money which they will be requiring for, as we see the CTs making out the mollies and smokes out there at bananas. And let's see how that's going to work out for them, as we find a couple of guys out there, and let's actually see how that's going to help both these teams out, as we are just going to see one person out there from Alter Ego Esports holding down bananas, and we are going to see Sky with he's actually got a smoke, and probably he's going to try to use that whenever there's going to be a push or something like that, and probably get back to his safety. And let's see how that's going to work out. We see Boogie making his way on bananas, and we see Frostmock out there who is at apartments. We see another guy right behind him who's at apartments, who is falling back to second mid again, and looks like they will be going on for a B or something like that, or maybe they would just try to fake it out at B and then come back to A like they did in the previous round. And let's see how that's going to work out. We see the flashes coming out there, as well as the smoke coming out there from Frostmock. He is trying to make his way on A, but there are a couple of guys at arches. If he's going to try to take at least one of them, that could be a trade coming in there for the CT side, and he is going to try to peek him out, but then Redco is going to just reveal himself alone, and he's going to take down Frostmock, and that could be that Alter Ego Esports have no other option than to go on to B at this point in time, because they don't have a lot of time remaining as well, as we are going to see about 3 people making their way from Sky's team out there onto CT, and the molly is going to do a lot of damage out there. The flash is going to blind both these people out there at CT, and that is going to allow Josh to get that kill out there. And we see all the people trying to get in, and this is a massacre and a bloodbath coming out there, as Sky Esports are going to settle for one more round out here. They are up to a flying start from the CT side, 3 rounds in a row, and I think the way they had just got into B side was pretty bad, because just one person heading in while 2 of them are watching their back, that's quite that's quite
I felt
suicide, I
like
would say.
as soon as Postmark went down over at the boiler room, these guys should have actually pushed as soon as possible, because at that moment of time there were at least two people over near the A side, one at Arches and one who actually got the kill on the Postmark. So maybe they would have had the chance since they had the number
I
advantage,
mean,
but they
exactly,
did that very
because
slowly.
and not just because of that, but if you actually looked at that, we had about three guys at bananas, two of them just behind the guy who pushed out. And the moment those flashes and smokes were being executed, we just saw one person from the T side making it down, which is quite questionable because when you are going to push it out and when you are going to go and try to get those frags, you ought to go with at least about a couple of guys so that you can possibly take a trade or something like that. We see all the people, we see about all the five of them making their way on A, three of them from Arches and two coming out there from Boilers. And Boogie is going to take down Maxi, who was taking down one of his teammates, and Zerexy is going to trade out Redco as well. And that's going to be a free A side coming out there. The bomb is going to get planted, and we are going to see one person making his way from mid and the other one making his way from Arches. And let's see how that's going to work out right now, because in terms of utilities, all they have is just a molly, I mean, an incendiary, a smoke, as well as a couple of flashes for the CD side, while there aren't any for Alter Ego. So even if they are going to get molly out there, only thing they can do is try to move away from that, because they have utilized all their smokes right now. The time is ticking right now, and they just need to make the defuse as soon as possible, as Boogie is going to get one and Zerexy is going to get another as well. And Alter Ego Esports get their first round in the second map. And that was a pretty neat play coming out there, neat execution coming out there from the T side. And they made sure that this could have been, this was actually their round right from the start, right from the first few kills as well. And I think that is something they should be looking down
Yeah,
to implement.
they should be very proud of that, because that round actually they bought out their guns, but they did not have any utilities to work with. They forced that because the round previous to that they had actually full bought, and they executed that very badly over at B. But right now though, it seems like they've got their game in tandem, and they are going to be going for the same thing which they were attempting previously. Fosmark is going to be pushing over into apartments, trying to create a distraction or something. If he throws down that flash and the smoke, maybe he might fool them long enough to think, okay, these guys are going to be coming towards A. But it looks like the Molotov is going to be there at Bananas, making sure that a lot of information is getting given right there, so that they know there is going to be one guy over near the T ramp. And Fosmark, he's going to be priming up that flash, trying to just cause as much disturbance as he can. And it looks like he is going to go and push towards carpets maybe. Okay, he's just going to be backing up right now, as we do see Alessa and his friends. They are trying to get the kill over there. We see the smokes being thrown right there. Alessa is going to be tagged for just 5 damage right there. The armor is going to be soaking most of that up. And we do see Boogie, he's going to be going for that smoke setup right now. Tsukamoto and his friends are looking to just push ahead. Fosmark has joined them over at Bananas, and they will be able to execute that pretty easily. And we do see the incendiaries coming right back up. Josh is going to be stuck right there. He's going to be taking tons of damage right now. Sky SG is going to be sandwiched right there, but no. Fosmark is messing up a lot of these kills. The smoke is going to be there, and sadly, this is going to be Sky Esports' game. They are making the defense happen. None of them have actually dropped down, and Sky SG is going to be looking towards Bananas. He is going to try to get the kill, but no. Tsukamoto, 3 kills. Oh my god! And that is going to be Alessa with 1 more kill. And we do see this is going to be a 1 versus 3 situation. What a comeback, Tsukamoto, my man. Redco is trying to get the kill, but no, he's revealed his position. He's not able to get the kill onto the guy who actually planted the bomb, and the bomb has been planted though, so they can play around Redco right now, and Redco is going to be stuck over there at construction. Tsukamoto is going to be rotating around from the CD side, and Redco though, okay, he does manage to get the kill onto Wookie with the HE grenade, and Tsukamoto, he's going to be waiting on outside of the construction area. The smoke is going to be there, trying to make the defuse happen, but sadly, I don't think that is going to be possible. He is taking tons of damage, and that is going to be Tsukamoto with a 4K, and that, my friend, is the MVP play of this first half at least, because getting 3 kills in a row, man. Tsukamoto, that was actually very lucky. Nobody really noticed that he was there, and yeah, that was quite an amazing play coming in from him, and that eventually led to Alter Ego Esports winning that round, and that is going to force Sky Esports to go for pistols.
I mean, yes, that was a pretty good round coming out there from Alter Ego Esports. They bounced back with style, and courtesy of Tsukamoto with that 4K coming out there in that round, 3 of them coming through, that spray coming out there from the smoke, and that was quite impeccable, and that is something which was lacking in the first few rounds for Alter Ego Esports, and now they got their things sorted. And now they will be looking on to pile up this deficit into a lead and trying to convert it to themselves. And let's see how that's going to work out, because the CTs are going to be forced onto pistols, like you just said, and we are going to see a 2-3 three setup coming out there. We see a couple of guys at B and three of them making their way on A. One of them at Apps, and he's gonna go down as well. Fosmok gonna get the first blood in this round, and let's see what's in store right now. There's one more person towards Arches, and if he's gonna spot him out, that could be another kill coming out there. But he does spot out Maxi, and he's gonna get one more as well. Eugene's gonna go down, and that is valuable information coming in. As Fosmok is gonna make sure that they are gonna go on to A, as Josh is trying to make the rotation out there, but he might be taken out there by Woogie, because he pretty much knows that there is a guy at B side and he doesn't have a gun, and that is something which they can avoid, and they can probably go on to A, or maybe they can just, once they just try to get the guy at A, which they rightly did at just about a second ago when Sukamoto just hit him with the op, and that could be an easy A plant right now. We see just a couple of guys trying to sandwich him out, and that's going to be ZXC who's going to get that, and that's going to be the third round in a row for Alter Ego Esports, as they are leveling it for the first time since the 0-0 scoreline.
And Fosmark, man, I mean, that guy, he's been lurking around. He got 3 kills in that. Okay, no, this was actually ZXC. He actually got
a couple of kills, and he managed to tag a lot for the guy who was at A, which was quite good. Even though that they were on the pistol rounds, it wasn't that great, is what I would say. But then the instincts coming out there, just to go on to apartments and try to get one guy, and then check out the guy who is at carpet, and then just turn towards his left and hit the guy at Arches, and that's something which is quite instinctive, and I would like to give a praise out there to him, because that's something which not a lot of people check as soon as they are entering into A. What the first thing which they try to do is try to put out the smokes and mollies and all of that, but it's quite good that he was able to settle out there and try to check all those plays. And look at that Redco trying to take, he actually took the boost, and he is waiting out there to see if Fosmo could make something like what he did in the previous time, and see if he can make a mistake, as we are going to see a couple of guys from the T side making their way onto apartments, and this could be going either ways right now, because Eugene as well as his teammates are watching each other's back in a perfect way, and I think there is no way Alter Ego Esports can get onto A side unless they are getting some backup from their teammates, because just 2-on-3 in this kind of situation is not going to really help out them. And look at that, Wookie is going to just give one blind spray down, which is going to give about 78 damage onto Josh, leaving him just with 22 HP. And Redco is just toying away with these two balconies out there, just trying to waste some time out there. ZXC is going to make his way out there. He's going to try to get one, but Max is going to get 2 of them, as Alessa is going to trade him out. Redco making his way on the side right from that place, and the molly is actually not going to help their case, as well as we see Alessa who's going to spot him out, and the molly is actually going to do a lot of damage as soon as he got the damage from the gun, and that's going to be the bomb planted. But then it is going to be a 3-on-2, but then Sky is going to get one as well, and Alessa is going to go down. Sukamoto going to be the last person alive. He's going to get about 2 guys out there. 4 HP is all he has, but meanwhile Josh and Eugene are just 22 and 12 HP apart, and let's see how this is going to work out. The diffuse can be made. He is actually diffusing it, and he actually did it without even doing anything. I think Sukamoto didn't do anything. He really thought that could have been a fake or something like that, but the smoke out there really made sure that was not possible, and then they finally got that round out there, as Sky Esports are going to get one more round out here. Let's see how this is going to go out right now, because right now it's still, I think, the story of the previous game. We see
I guess
three
Sukamoto
rounds.
was just trying to save that AWP, because things are not looking that good.
I mean, it wasn't something that he wanted to do, but he was just forced to do it, because he tried to go. He actually thought that could have been a fake or something like that, which is the reason why he didn't actually react whenever there was a diffuse out there, and that cost him that round. And probably there was no point in him trying to get those 2 kills out there, even though they were low. It was wise enough to go for the save, and that is what he did, and that really did not work out for Alter Ego Esports. But then Sky Esports just got that round after a 3-round break, and let's see whether Alter Ego Esports can bring one back, because they have full board in this round, and we see a lot of utilities coming out there in either of the teams, and let's see how it's going to work out. However, Sky Esports have gone for 3 farmers and just an AK, which had been picked up by Redco, and also an M4 coming out there for Maxi, and let's see how that's going to work out.
Well, we do see Wookie. He is going to get spotted out by the guy who was peeking over there from CT. We do see the CT smokes coming from the side of Alter Ego Esports. So that is going to make sure that not a lot of information is going to be shared between the guys who are on site and who's going to be at CT. But it looks like it is going to be a bait over here. 3 people are at B, and Wookie is going to be distracting them long enough and maybe they can go for a setup over at A. It is going to be just Redco and one more of his friend left over there, and it looks like Redco is getting a little bit impatient. He's going to be peeking over at Orc side.
I
We do
mean,
see
this
Sky
is a good
SG.
fake coming out there from the T side. They're making sure that the mollies and smokes are going to signal that that is going to be a B. But we are going to see Forsmark, who is making his way on a CT, and he has a clear idea that there is a guy who is at site, and he probably is going to wait until the people who are rotating are going to come on the side, and Lessa is going to probably spot out one more person, and Redco is going to go down as well. And there's going to be a free A side coming out there for the T side, and they are just going to go and make the plan. Just about 7 seconds was remaining, and they were making sure that they didn't make the mistake which they did in the previous round. They made the plan, and now this is all about playing time, and we are going to see a 4-on-3, and Lessa nearly misses that shot out there, coming out there from the guys from the CT side, and now they have decided to go and make a save out there. Josh as well as Eugene decide that this is not the right time for them to pick up a fight, because even though they both of them have kids, it's going to be really hard for them because they have already played a lot of time out there, and that could be one more round coming in for Alter Ego Esports. So this is going to be a 4-4 situation for both these teams, and let's see what they have in store in the next round. That's a good play coming out there from Alter Ego Esports. It's actually the second or third time they tried to make it fake, and it really actually caught Sky.
This time it actually worked. Like the last time, it was not that good because Postmark, even though he was doing that bait that good, I believe it was the second or third round of the game. But the one after that, it went well, and this one went perfect. Like 3 people getting baited over to the B side, and A side just being defended by 2 people. That was not something you could have predicted, and we are going to be looking at a full buy for Alter Ego Esports. They only lost 1 person in the previous round, so not really getting surprised. And Sky, they're going to be forced to get a pistol onto Sky SG, while Josh and Eugene are going to be sticking with the guns which they saved in the previous round. Redco, he is going to be playing near. Okay, he is probably going to get flushed out right now. Redco is going to be forced to go through that smoke, and near the arches area, Postmark is going to see the site and knows that nobody's going to be here. So maybe this is going to be a free site for Alter Ego Esports. And we do see the bomber though. The bomber, if he does get caught out by the guys over at Library, that might be a lot of trouble. We do see Maxi over at the carpet area, but no, we see Postmark with that HE grenade is going to be able to get that kill right there. Tsukamoto is going to get tagged for a lot of damage, but no, Boogie's going to be able to back him up from the guy who's lurking over at mid. And Tsukamoto, he's trying to give a chase to the guy who's actually escaped over to CT. And Alter Ego Esports, they don't really lose anyone in that little bit of a skirmish right there over day. And Postmark is giving chase. He knows that they want to get that kill onto Josh because they know Josh has a weapon since he was firing at them from the library area. And Josh is going to be able to get a kill onto Postmark, and he will be able to get that. And Zerexy, he is going to try to secure that kill right there. The Molotov has been thrown, the smoke has been made, so the Molotov is not going to be doing a lot right now. And Josh, though, he is taking a little bit of damage through the smoke right there, but he is going to be safe for now unless they make the rotation right behind him. And Josh will be able to save that farmers, and that is going to be able to allow Sky Esports to buy their guns in this round, while Josh is going to be sticking with his farmers, which he has saved for 2 rounds in a row right now.
I mean, that was a good play coming out there from the T side. It's more like the second consecutive round which they had won courtesy of the plays coming out there from their players, especially Tsukamoto, who has been contributing pretty well ever since the last game as well. And also, not to forget Boogie out there. And we are going to see Redco, who is going to get the AWP, and we're going to see about 2 M4s as well as 2 farmhouses. Still, Sky are not that great in terms of their economy, even though they had been going on for pistols in about a couple of rounds ago and all of that. But that's really not working out for them, and they really need to think about something else, even though they are getting about a round in every 2 of them. So let's see how that is going to work out for them, because that's really not something which they should be worried about, because in a CT side it's really not going to be really hard for you to just rotate and try to go for those backstabs and rotations and flanks. But that's clearly not what's happening for Sky. They are actually falling for whatever Alter Ego Esports are faking, those kinds of executes which they are planning on B and then going back onto A and then coming back onto B is what they have been doing. They're still not able to figure that out, and maybe in about some time they will be figuring it out, because this is the same thing which they had done in about a couple of rounds ago, and I think they are going to do the same thing again, because this time we're just going to see about 4 people. We're going to see all the 5 people from Alter Ego making their way on a B, while there are just about 2 guys out there waiting for any mistakes which Alter Ego would be doing at this point of time. They are going to prime up their mollies and smokes to see what is going to happen. And meanwhile, we are going to see one more person. We're actually going to see all the people from Sky Esports making the rotations onto B, and let's see how this is going to work out. We again see the same mistake being made by Alter Ego Esports, just letting one of their players go in front and making sure that he is going to die, courtesy of those shots coming out there for the CD side. And yet again, they don't have a lot of time. They need to make the plan. He is going to go for the plan, but he's going to go down as well. They don't have a lot of time. He's just going to go and try to save the gun right now, because that is something which is not going to go in their favor. What a play coming out there from Sky. This is where they are good at, I feel, because the rotations have always been on point for Sky Esports. But then the problem with Alter Ego Esports is that they are able to get those fakes on point, but the problem is
too long to execute that.
Exactly, that is going to be the issue which they need to be working on. And also the problem where whenever they are going to go and push onto a side, they make sure that there's only one player going in front. And I don't know whether they want to just get the information from that or not, but that's clearly not working out for them. Not just for the first time, but that actually happened for a couple of times, and both the times it just happened at B as well. So they should be, I think, working on something like that, where whenever they are going to push it out, probably just put a pop flash or something, put about a couple of smokes, and make sure at least a couple or three of them are making their way out there, as that could probably even try to... The chances of you trading out there would be more probable, because even if you are going to die, you could probably get about a kill or two out there, and also the chance that the utility is coming in your way whenever you are trying to execute something like that is about more when you try to do that with more 2 or 3 people out there.
Well, we are going to be looking at Alter Ego Esports. They are going to be having 2 people pushing over at Bananas, trying to see if the defense is going to be made by Sky Esports. They do know that, okay, they're not going to be playing a little bit close to Bananas. They're going to be playing a little bit closer to the sides. And we do see the bomb. It is going to be going towards second mid right there. Maybe, these guys can execute something over at A, and maybe even the rotations are going to be made by Sky Esports. The 2 guys at Bananas can catch 2 kills or something. And we do see Maxi. Okay, he knows that, okay, something is going wrong. So he is going to go ahead and just flash over there. And we do see Boogie and his friends. They are going to be trying to make an execute over at B. Not really an execute. They're just trying to, bait him out. As we do see Maxi, he is going to be able to get 1 kill. He's going to try to get the second one, but Redco is going to be able to get that. And Alessa, he is going to be left there alone. The Molotov is going to be put over there, and Redco is going to be in quite a bit of trouble. But no, the flash is going to be there, and that is going to be Alessa is going to be going down. The bomb is going to be going down, and that is going to be a 1 versus 4 situation. And Boogie is going to get killed by Josh, who came all the way from Banana and got that kill. So this is looking extremely well for Sky Esports, and it looks like Alter Ego Esports, the amount of pace which they played in the previous game, they just don't have it anymore. So they might need to, take a timeout or something, rethink how fast they need to go ahead and get these kills. And that is my suggestion of what they need to do to get this game back into order. As we do see the force coming from Alter Ego Esports, they do have that AWP and a bunch of AKs right here, and we do see Boogie. He's going to be able to spot out Redco, and Redco is going to go down. The flash is going to be there onto mid. Sky SG is going to be taking a little bit of damage from that Molotov, and he is trying to peek over at Bananas, trying to find an opening right now, but sadly they have moved towards mid, and Boogie and his friends are trying to make the push happen right now. Fosmark is going to be pushing over at Art's side. He needs to be careful. There is going to be a guy over at Library, while one guy will be playing near the pit area. And Alter Ego Esports, they seem to be in a really good position, and they will be able to make the plays happen right now. But it looks like they're taking too long, and this is the mistake they've been doing. When they take too long to do all of this stuff, it feels like the rotations are going to be made by Sky Esports. Boogie is going to be keeping an eye on the pit area, where there is going to be one guy, while Sukamoto is going to be playing over at carpet. The smokes have been put down, and that is going to allow them to execute A pretty much easily. We see a 3-on-5 situation right here. Postmark is going to go ahead for the pop flash right now, and once the flash is going to be there, but that is not going to matter. Maxi is going to be getting the kill onto the guy who was at carpet. Sukamoto is going to go down. Postmark is going to be on site right here. Boogie with that bomb. He is going to be making his way from mid right here. Alessa is going to try to get the kill on the guy who's in pitch, and he is going to be able to get that, but no, this was a bloody bloodbath right there, and Alessa somehow manages to get that last kill from the guy who's rotating from mid, and he will be able to secure one more round for Alter Ego Esports. That was a very hard fought round for Alter Ego Esports, and if they actually lost that, they would have been forced to eco in the next round, because they had literally zero money. when they bought out this round, they just forged all they can. They squeezed out as much money as they can, and they got those guns and they got this victory. And yeah, Sky Esports, they are gonna be forced into pistols and no armor really, no utility really.
And look at Alter Ego Esports as well. They're not actually on to those AKs, but just about a couple of them with AKs with an op, and also just a couple of them with Khalils, which is quite the story of both the teams' economy at the moment, because both of them are at the fringe, and I think both of them are at the the border right now. If any one of them lose this round, probably I think at this point of time, if Sky do lose this round, they will be able to go for a buy or something like that, but not the same case for Alter Ego Esports, because that will probably be one off going down in favor of Sky Esports. But let's actually see that whether that's going to be the case, because we already saw Maxi going down out there, and let's probably see if they will be going on for an execute at A, because the guy who was at A is going to go down, and looks though as if Eugene is going to get spotted out there, and also Redco is going to get spammed out for a bit of a damage, and he's going to go down as well. But Sky is going to take on Tsukamoto in that firefight, and we see Smoke trying to give him cover, but Eugene is going to get another one as well. This man and the pistols is still a better love story than Twilight, but then it's going to be Boogie who's going to go and try to end that streak out there, and we are going to see a plan coming in for Alter Ego Esports, and this could probably be the game. This could probably be the round for them, as we are going to see an AK as well as an AWP against the Deagle and an AK. And let's see how this is going to work out, because all of them are with 100 HP, but the problem is that they don't have any armor, not even the body armor, which is not really going to help their case. And we are going to see Boogie, who's going to get his second kill in this round, and he's going to take down one person out there, and Josh is going to be the last person alive. All he has is just going to be the lead, but it's going to be Alessa who's going to spray him down, and that's going to be one more round coming in for Alter Ego Esports, as they are going into the 14th round with one round lead, 7-6 is the scoreline. And look at that, this was what I was telling you about. Sky was able to get that one kill out there, he was able to get the gun in the rotations were being made out there, but Eugene, oh my god, what was that? And he was able to get one, and then Smoke also going down, and after that he just gets down courtesy of Boogie, and then he got the second kill, and Lesser just finishing out in style with that spray from the AK coming out there.
It feels like, Alter Ego Esports, all of their players are putting equal amounts of impact into the game. Usually when we see a game of CSGO, you see you have favorite players, people who make a lot more impact. But no, in the case of Alter Ego Esports, Fosmark is doing a lot. ZXC, he actually got the first kill of that round. Like, that was, quite impeccable gameplay. He just shoulder picked and got that kill. He spotted him for a glimpse of a moment and got the kill. And that just shows that everyone from Alter Ego Esports are a force to be reckoned with. And meanwhile, we do see Boogie is going to be going down over near the arch area. And we do see ZXC, he's going to be pushing over at carpets, and he might be able to spot out Redco right there. Maxi's going to be playing a little bit closer to the boiler room, trying to, see if he can catch a kill or two. And it looks like Alter Ego Esports, they are going to be starting off with the back foot, as Fosmark with that AWP, he is only going to have 12 HP. Even though he has that armor, that is not going to matter a lot. We do see Maxi, he's going to be holding a very tight angle over at mid, and he might just be able to get the kill, and he does. Fosmark does go down right now, but no. The two people peek at the same time, and that is going to be one kill going right there. And we do see Redco over with that boost is going to be able to get that kill on the ZXC. And Alessa, he is forced to back off right now. He does have that bomb, and it looks like they might just go for a B right here. And that is a very good idea, since, there is going to be just one person coming right there, and we do see the smokes being put out, so that means that Tsukamoto knows, okay, there is going to be just one guy defending over at B side. They might be able to get that bomb plan, and he is going to try to go for the pick, but no, sadly, Sky SG is going to be able to get that kill. Unless he's going to be looking over at the CD side, he will be able to get that first kill, and he is going to try to go for the second one, but no, Sky SG is a little bit too fast for him, and that is going to be the scoreboards evened out once more, as Sky SG, with an impeccable defense, with an impenetrable defense, they make the plays happen. And yeah, Tango, this is just looking to be a very fun game and very even game. I think this has the potential to actually go to an overtime.
I mean, yes, that is what I've been waiting for since the last game, and I think the last game was almost inches away from an overtime, as I think this game could probably be an overtime contender, I would say, because I think the way both these teams are playing, and as you have been analyzing for a while, that it's gonna be Sky who will be taking about a couple of rounds, and then we're gonna see Alter Ego getting with another couple of rounds for their say as well. And that was the case ever since the previous game had started, and now this is gonna be the same thing again. But we are gonna see a force buy coming out there just with pistols from the Alter Ego Esports side, and now they are just in control of this game, or maybe this round as well, because They already made their way onto A, and look at that. That's more like a demolition coming out there as they are making their way onto the side, and that's going to be a free side for them. Two of them making their way onto archers as well as boilers. They're actually making their way onto boilers, and both of them having an AK as well as an M4 against four guys out there from Alter Ego Esports. The guy with the CC is right behind the stack out there, and Alter Ego Esports are going to win this and end this half on a high. It was quite surprising coming out there from Alter Ego Esports because they were kind of bleak in terms of their
They forged
economy.
with pistols. I mean, they didn't really have a choice since this was, the last round of the first half. So they did, gamble on that, and they managed to make the most of the situation. They got that round eventually. So, you have to give credit where it's due. Alter Ego Esports played that impeccably, at least that last round, at least. And we are going to be seeing Alter Ego going for a technical pause. So they know, okay, since this is the map they picked, they need to think of a really good strategy to, demolish Sky Esports, because if they are going to be losing this one, it's not going to be looking really good because they beat Sky Esports in a map which they picked, and if these guys are going to be losing in a match which they picked, it is not looking really good reputation wise, and maybe these guys are trying to keep up their reputation. Like these guys picked up Inferno, and these guys can try to go for the kill.
I mean, yes, I really think that this could be a game for either of these teams because right from the previous game we have been seeing about both these teams beating each other. I mean, like exchanging the blows and coming down right to the wire, and I think that is something we will be looking forward to in this game as well. So I really can't predict any winner right now, but it's more like this. It's more like this. Alter Ego Esports or Sky, both of them are thinking like this. Like if we are gonna go down, we are gonna make sure that we are gonna put up a fight, and both of us end down in the hospital. Is what is a summary of this game up till now at least. And I think we will be going live pretty soon after the technical issues have been resolved. Right now.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be getting into round number 16 between Alter Ego Esports and Sky Esports, and this is going to be the second half right now, the pistol round, and this is going to be very detrimental to how the pace of the game is going to be going forward. And look at that, we see ZXE. He is going to be getting a lot of information that people are going to be pushing over at second mid, so he is going to be keeping a close eye over near the apartment entrance, and he might be able to get a kill or two. Look at that, he is just hugging that wall, and he might be able to get two. Okay, okay.
Oh my god, he just wanted to get that trigger patience, but that really did not work out for that. He made sure that the third person who was coming out there was able to, blow his cover down, and that was gonna be a pretty good round for Alter Ego Esports up till that moment where they just lost it because I really thought that they could have got this round, but that clearly was not the case. And I think had he just fired them up as soon as the second guy went, that could have been the case. But yeah, I don't blame him. Anyone in that kind of situation would have done the same thing. And it's just about your luck out there, whether the person's gonna look at you or not. And that clearly was not his case. And I really don't. I really don't want to comment whether that could have been done or not because
Yeah, like we are not qualified enough to comment whether that was the best play for that scenario or not.
I mean, it's not about being qualified or not, but then
Everybody
it's just
has
about your intuition, whatever you feel at that point of time, which I really don't think any qualified person will be able to judge because out here and just looking at the game, that's going to be pretty different. We're just going to look at the overview and we're just casting about that. But when you're going to look at the player's perspective, that would be a lot of things running in their mind. And right now, when we are back on to the 17th round in this game, as we are gonna see a stack coming out there for Alter Ego Esports. All the five of them going on for a B stack right now, as we see Redco and his teammates making their way on the bananas, and they still don't have a clear idea where to go at this moment, as they are going to go and try to pick the bomb and probably go on to a B or an A, because that is not really what they are looking forward to, because we are looking at about 5 people who are waiting patiently at B side, and if Sky Esports are going to fall into this trap, they could be a round which will be going in favor of Alter Ego Esports, but I don't think that is going to be the case, as we are going to see the people from Sky Esports making their way on A. So I think this stack may not be working for them, but no, the bomber is making his way on a B, so this could probably go either ways, and Sky's Josh is going to make his way out there. The backstab coming out there. We see all the three people who were making their way on A, making their way on a CTs, and let's see how this is going to work out. We see all the five of them making it to CTs. Josh is making his way out there, as we are going to see Sky going down, and Josh is going to get one more and make that two more as well, and that is going to be the end of Alter Ego Esports round at this point of time, as Sky is going to pick one more up. That it was pretty surprising to see that these guys were not going on to A, then they just wanted to go on to B just because they thought that this might be a stack out there. Because when the guys who were going on to A, they could have, I think they would have probably checked out the site and they knew that there's nobody out here. Or maybe let's like, we know that people are going to go on to a pistol round out there, or maybe just an eco out there and probably just stay at B. Why not we just go and try to go for a plant out there? Let's actually show them who we are, and that is what they did. One person lost, and they took out everyone away from Alter Ego Esports, and we are witnessing another tech pause coming out there, and we will be back once the game resumes. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be back again with the 18th round in this game. The pause has been resumed. A lot of technical issues, I guess, in one of the team's players, and we are back kicking again. The 18th round right now. 9-8 is the scoreline. We just see one run between both these teams, and just about after this, we will be seeing if this goes on to a third map, or even if this map goes on to an overtime, because that's about the case in this game between both these teams, because they have been exchanging blows ever since the start of the previous map, and that seems to continue up till now, and we still see the CT side sticking with a 2-3 situation right now, a 2-3 setup coming out there from both these teams, and let's see how that's going to work out. We are actually going to see another person rotating onto A, because it's quite surprising, because it wasn't a pistol round in the first place. They are actually buying it. We still see about 3 M4s and AUG as well as farmers, and
I feel like the retake is what Alter Ego Esports are up to, and it feels like nobody has really spotted out the bomb yet, and it looks like the three people who are in bananas, they're just trying to gather as much information as possible, trying to look for an opening to make the breach happen, and it looks like Alter Ego Esports, they seem to be confident enough to think that okay, Sky is going to be making their way onto A, and it actually looks likely because I don't know what exactly is going on in their heads. But if they do go to bananas, it is going to be a free site.
Oh my god, we see the last person who was at B making his way on a CT, and that could be a free A again for Alter Ego out there. What is going on out there for the C side? It's actually Sky out there who are making their way, as they are going to leave a freebie out there, as Alter Ego Esports are making their way onto A, and that is how you should not be stacking, and that too when you are full buying in that round. And I don't know,
are they trying to save it like with a full buy or something? Because this, I've never seen this. Nobody's ever done this in the history of CS:GO.
Okay, I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Like, what the hell is this? I think Alter Ego Esports, they are thinking they don't really want to lose any gun or something, so I'm not surprised that they did that, but yeah, this is kind of confusing that they did not even really try to go for kills, and that is actually going to be very bad, because since the bomb has been planted and it has exploded, that is going to add on to the economy that Sky has, and that is going to make sure that even if Alter Ego Esports didn't manage to save all of their guns in that round, they don't have that economical cushion that Sky Esports have. So if they do lose one more round, they are going to be in the back foot, and
And maybe the reason why Alter Ego Esports does not want to contest that bomb plant is probably because they didn't have a kit in the previous round. Now that we see about 4 people buying out kits out there, given that the ample money they have is going to help them out buying a lot of utilities along with the kit and every other thing out there, as we are going to see all the 5 people from the T side making their way on a second and first mid respectively to see what they are going to be up to. We are going to see a 3-2 setup yet again from Alter Ego Esports, as we are going to see about 3 guys at A and a couple of them at B who are just waiting patiently at CD to see if the T side aren't going to make any kind of mistake out there. We see Josh as well as Kai who are trying to make their way outside, and Alessa is going to get one, but he's going to get traded as well. ZXC is going to get one, and he's going to get traded as well. And all of a sudden, this is going to leave Sukamoto as the only person alive at A, and the bomb is going to get planted as well. So this is the retake time, and let's see whether they can do it right now, as Alter Ego Esports have a good history of getting those retakes to their advantage, and we are going to see whether they can do it right now, because Skies, Maxi, Redco, as well as one more person are right at side, as well as right below the carpet area, and one of them is at pit as well. So this is going to be really tricky for Sukamoto and his teammates to go and try to go for the defuse, because anyways they have a couple of guys who have a kit, and I think this is the time where they should be trying for that, as even if they decide to save this won't be really helping them out, except for that they will be having a little more money in the next round, and I think that is going to be the same case again. They are planning to go for the exits, but then I think Maxi is going to get a lot of damage out there, and he's going to go down courtesy of the bomb being blasted out there, and Redco just missing it out just with 5 HP is what he remains after that round, along with his guns, however. And I think that could have gone for, I mean, I really don't understand why they did not go for the retake out there now that they had kids. And the problem was that probably they didn't have a lot of time remaining, but then the retake should have been a little quick out there. The moment the guy who was at apartments had fallen, they could have been a faster regroup coming out there from Alter Ego Esports, which was quite lacking in the previous round. But then even though they are farming some money by just saving those guns in the last 2 rounds, it's not really helping them out, because the loss bonuses are not gonna help them out, as we are gonna see Eugene gonna go down courtesy of the Molly coming out there from Woogie. So that's gonna be 1 man down for Sky Esports, as they are making their way on to Bananas, and we still see about a guy who is waiting at we still see a couple of guys who are going on to apartments to see what is going to be the case out there. Can they actually pull something off like what they did in the previous round? A couple of them just jumping out of carpet and getting almost every one of them who were at A. Let's see whether they can do the same thing again, because the bomb has been picked up again. And we still see a guy who is at Bananas, and probably if they are going to go for a banana push, this will be quite surprising, because we still have about 2 guys out there who are defending B. And either ways, this probably will be I'd really lay my dibs on Alter Ego Esports at this round, because they are still a man up against this right now. But I think this should be a B, because 45 seconds is all Sky Esports have, and for them to execute this, B would be the best option at this point in time, because they still have those utilities and the mollies coming up there, and so do Alter Ego Esports, because they have already made their rotation. We still have one person who has made it onto CT, and I think this is about time where we are going to see the push coming out there from Sky Esports. Mind you, the last 2 times when they tried this, they were not able to make the plant, and let's see whether they can do the same thing again. But yet again, the smoke coming out there just stopping him, but the molly is going to give them a lot of time for them for the CTs to regroup, and I think the bomb plant out there is going to be really hard, but the spray coming out there is almost going to take everyone out there. Woogie, he is the man for Alter Ego Esports, as he is able to get down 3 people courtesy of the spray, and the 4th one being killed by one more person out there, and who was right on top of him. And what a play coming out there from Woogie and his teammates. They were able to make sure that their utilities were being used to their fullest, as they were able to delay the push coming out there from Sky Esports. And this is why timing matters in CSGO. The moment you are going to take those split-second decisions out there, that is going to affect you out for both the teams, I would say. And the money of both these teams are, not really great for Sky Esports, given that they just lost the previous round. They went for a full buy this time again. And when you're going to look at the CD side, a couple of them have more than about, 3 of them have more than about 5.5 grand, and I think that is something which they can bank on in the next 2 rounds or something like that. Even though they saved about a couple of rounds ago for 2 rounds successively, that is going to help them farm their money in the later stages of the game. So in case they are going to get about a couple of rounds and level it up with Sky Esports, they can probably go ahead and try to get those remaining rounds as well, as we are going to see the T side making their way onto Bananas. We see all the 5 of them going out there, and if he is going to go in front, he's going to go down, and Maxi's going to go down. However, I mean, Maxi's going to get one, but then he is just about 90 HP from going down, and Sky is going to get another as well, and the spam coming out there is probably going to do a lot of damage onto Josh as well as Redco as they are making their way on a B, and they have done the plant as well. So this is going to be a 5-on-3 situation in favor of the T side, who happen to be Sky Esports, and the chances of them trying to go for the retake are going to be pretty dull, I would say, because it's a point of no return, I would say. But then they are still going on ballsy, and they are going to get a kill out there, and that's going to leave Sukamoto the only person alive, and he's going to go down as well, and ZXC as well as Alessa are going to follow along with that, and they are going to lose that round as well. And more importantly, they are going to lose all their items and their guns out there as well. So that's not really going to affect them in this round. But then if they choose to lose this round as well, if they are going to lose this round, that's going to be a lot of money going in favor of the T side, and probably Sky Esports may be looking at the third map. They are hell bent on getting this into it's just about them trying to get this map for themselves so that they can force it on to the third map. And let's see how that's going to work out right now, because both the teams have bought it fully, and this would be the make or break round for Alter Ego Esports, as we are going to see a spam coming out there from Woogie. He's going to get that flick right onto the head of Eugene, and we are going to see the Molly doing a lot of damage to about 4 people who are at Bananas, and the bomber is still at Bananas, however, who happens to be the Opper in the name of Redco. And let's see how this is going to work out. We see Boogie still waiting out there. The Molly is going to do a lot of distraction coming out there for both these teams, and let's see how it's going to work out. They will be going on for a B, I suppose, because the smoke out there not really going to help their case. It is a one-way smoke, however, so let's see how it's going to work out for them, because if they are not going to realize that that is going to be a one-way smoke, they could probably go on for and see that is what I was telling about. The smoke's not really going to help their favor, courtesy of the one-way smoke, and one more shot coming out there from 4 smoke. He's going to get 2, and probably he can get a third as well, but it's going to be Redco who is going to get that, but he doesn't know that there is one more person out there. He is trying to go for the bomb plant, and what is Woogie doing out there? That's going to be a free bomb plant coming out there, and that is going to be money flowing in the way of Sky Esports, even though they are losing that. That was something which he shouldn't have gone for, and I didn't
that was very confusing, but I thought maybe Woogie was thinking that was going to be a fake, trying to flush out the people, but he did not know that Sky Esports at that point was that desperate enough to get that bomb run, because he was the last guy alive, and you have to give credit to the boss one. He got 2 kills through the smoke. The third kill, he did manage to spot him out, but sadly that the timing was not that good, and he went down at that time. And we are going to be looking at Sky. They are going to be forcing right now, and we do see 2 SMGs and 3 AKs working out in their favor, while Alter Ego Esports, they did not really lose a lot of people. They only
but the Incendiary is going to do a lot of damage out there along with the nades, and they are just running in the B at this point of time. Boogie's going to get one. He could probably get another as well, but it's going to be Eugene who is going to go and get him, and the bomb has been dropped. However, he's going to go and get the bomb and then go for it, and the backstab coming out there is going to get 1 out there. It's going to be 3 on 2. Sukamoto who's going to get 1, and all of a sudden it is going to be Josh as the last person alive, and he's going to plant the bomb as well. So this is going to leave him in a soup, and the Molly coming out there is going to try to force him outside, and Alter Ego Esports are bringing it back, and they are, I think they made sure that those 2 rounds where they saved are gonna matter the most, and they were able to get this on where they are right now. Just 1 round between both these teams, and this is going right down to the wire. They tried to execute it really quick onto A, and now they have just about money to buy for this round, the T side. And maybe if they aren't going for this would be something which they will be regretting for, as they are going to do the same thing again. So they are just going for pistols at this point of time. Just 3 of them going on with armor and not head armor for any of these guys. No utilities as well. Let's see how it's going to work out. They are making their way on a second mid as well as first mid. We see 3 of them making their way onto A, while a couple of them are at B for the CT side. And the bomb is still at base, and let's see how that's going to work out. That's going to be a lot of damage on Redco, who happened to be at mid out there near T-base. And let's see how it's going to work out. The bot shot coming out there is going to make sure Eugene's going to get one, but Fosmok is going to make sure that the gun is not going to go in the favor of the T side. And he is actually dropping the gun out there to make sure he is securing the top and making sure that they are not getting it. What a play coming out there from the person out there.
Fosmark, man. I mean, that guy has some brains, I tell you. And we are going to be looking at SkySG playing over near the carpet area. If he does get spotted out by the guy who is at pit and who is under carpet, it is going to be quite difficult. I don't think it is going to be that easy for them to take on A side, because both of these players, if they use their utilities right, they can defend this all out on their own.
But then the point is that when Alessa is in a position like this, the probability of him using the utility is not going to be pretty much, because the only place where he can put it is probably at boiler. That could probably delay them for a while, but I think they are probably going to go on for a B or something like that, or maybe they are trying to fake it out from arches and try to constrict both these guys out there from pit and below carpet respectively. And let's see how it's going to work out. And we are going to see both these guys trying to spot out all of them, and we are going to see Alessa and ZXC trying to play the game of their lives, and that is going to be a duo defense coming out there from both these guys. They were making sure that even though there were just two guys out there, they made sure that before the rotations are being made, they made sure that they were not able to let them plant the bomb, and they won them the round as well. And now after a long time, after about 3 or 4 runs, we are going to see the scoreline meeting each other at 12-12 for both these teams. And this is where I was telling you about. This was the same scenario in the previous game as well. It was 12-12 and then went on for 13-13, and then we finally saw it end at 16-14. Let's see how that's going to work out for them. And finally, these guys have gone for about a couple of orbs right now. The CTs have gone for a couple of orbs, and look at that, both the nades going right in tandem onto bananas and not doing a lot of damage. Just one person getting
Eugene is going to be getting tagged for just a little bit of damage, but I don't think that is going to matter a lot. We do see Woogie trying to go for the pick. He might be able to get that first kill on the guy who is at T-Ramp, but look at him. Eugene is right next to him, so he needs to be careful right there.
Oh, he just takes it down. What a play coming out there, as he was able to get that first frag. He was right in front of him. The up zoom was, kind of distracting for the T side, and he pretty much know that that is a guy right in front of him, but he was not able to do the job, and Eugene is going to go down. I mean, Woogie with that beautiful shot is going to make sure he is going to get one more as well. He is defending B like a man right now, and the bomber is going to be the solo person who is at bananas. And can we see another frag coming out there? The smoke is going to give a lot of time for the CTs to regroup at this point of time, as we are going to see the bomber as well as a couple of guys from Sky Esports making their way on to a mid as well as second mid, and I think they will be going for a execute right now. The smoke is gonna actually stop the guys from boiler to actually, it's actually a fail smoke coming out there, not really helping him out. ZXC is gonna get a couple of them, and Redco is gonna be the last person who is gonna survive from his team, and I think he's gonna get it. ZXC is gonna get the third kill out there, and what a play coming out there from Alter Ego Esports. And I think this is the right time I'm gonna put it. Comeback is real. That's gonna be 4 rounds for them. Coming back.
Yeah, this is going to be quite a story for them to tell, and especially that initial kill which Woogie opened up onto Eugene, that just allowed all of that to happen, and you have to give credit to ZXC. He got 3 kills over there, playing over from that boost area,
and now they are going to be forced onto pistols, and I think this could be another round coming out there for Alter Ego Esports. And as you can see, they are making their way on to B. The Molly is going to do a lot of damage to about 3 of them, and that is probably going to be another 2 kill and make that 3, and probably he can go for 4. Is he going for the ace right now? He has switched on to his pistol. Oh my god, that's an ace coming out there for him. He single-handedly stopped the rush coming out there from Sky Esports. What a play coming out there. The flash doing a lot of that was also helping them out. Just look at it, the Molly doing a lot of damage initially. What a team play coming out there from both these guys who were at B. The shoulder peaks coming out there with precision, making sure that the flash from Woggy was making sure that all these guys who were making the rush were blinded. And Alter Ego Esports just 2 runs away from winning this, 2 runs away from going on to meet Executioners in the finals. Can Sky Esports do something at this point of time? They need to pull something out of their tricks right now, because if you are going to look at that economy, that's still not really great. They need to win this. They need to win this round, and that means a lot to them. Let's see whether they can do something about it. We see Woogie making his way on to beat and Bananas right now. Eugene is going to be the guy who is right. Oh, and there is a guy right at the place near Bananas, and he is going to go down as well. Redco is going to go down, and this is going to be Alter Ego Esports all the way at this point of time, as they have been dominant in the last 5 rounds. 14-12 is the scoreline. Eugene's going to go and try to get the bomb right now, because he needs to make the cross across the mid, because if there was no smoke out there, that could have been Eugene's demise in this round, because there is a guy right towards his left hand side, and that happens to be Boogie. And there's going to be one more smoke coming out there as well from the CD side, making sure that they are covered at this point of time. So even if they plan on going on to a B, they can get hammered by Boogie's off. And I always get confused by Moogie as well. And we are back into this game. The flash coming out there, blinding a couple of guys out there. We are gonna see them making their way on a B right now, and Fugi as well as his teammates are making their way out there. First Smoke, the guy who was handling CD base out there, is going to make sure that he is going to get one at least out there, and Fugi is going to get another one. This is going haywire for Sky Esports, and that's going to be Yuji, who is going to be the last person alive. 12 HP is all he has, and Alter Ego Esports are going to match point, and that is going to leave Sky Esports with not just a lot of money for them, and
yeah, this is gonna be quite hard right now, as Sky Esports they will be able to force out right now, because they did this is the last round and they do have that last one coming out for them. So I will not be surprised if the buys are going to be the buys are going to be there, but I don't think they will be able to do it to their fullest potential. As you can see, Redco and Maxi don't have a lot of utilities. Redco does not have any utilities, and Fosmark and Boogie are making the best plays of their life, defending the all out on their own. Look at Fosmark, he's getting a little bit cocky right there, but I think that he is capable enough to get those little bit of entries right there, and he knows
that is actually making the difference in this round, because at this point of time for Sky Esports, they had just have to do one of these two things. Either they should be sacrificing their firepower, or they might have to just sacrifice the utilities, because the amount of money they have is not really great, and I think they really can't make plays of their own with this kind of economy. And let's see how it's going to work out, because we already see a couple of guys who have already made it onto apartments, while we see three of them making their way on mid and second mid as well. So this could probably be an A push coming out there. The jumps coming out there from the guy at mid is going to make sure that they are going to make it onto A right now, as Alessa and a couple of guys are going to be the only people at A right now. They are the ones who are guarding A, but it's going to be Boogie again who is going to take down Eugene, and looks like they are making their way onto A. We see a couple of kills out there from ZXC, and Alessa is going to make sure that Alter Ego Esports are going to make it to the finals. Here are your second finals, ladies and gentlemen. Alter Ego Esports 16-12 and 16-14 against Sky Esports. What a game this is proving to be, because we have seen this go on to almost, we could have seen both the maps going on to overtimes, because that is gonna be the game for Alter Ego Esports. They have been playing impeccably well, and their executions and the utilities and the way they have been managing their strats was quite the worth of watching.
Maybe the fact that Train was banned out, I guess they had a little bit of a tough time, but making sure that they got a 2-0 score line in a best of 3 series against Sky Esports just proves that okay, these guys are not someone you take lightly, and these are not someone who executioners should take lightly, because I think these guys have what it takes to give them a really good fight, and executioners are also going to be having a really tough time playing against these guys, because they have proven themselves to be a very aggressive team. And Alter Ego Esports, congratulations for making it to the grand finals. And the grand finals, by the way, it is a best of 5, man.
I mean, it is a best of 5. By the way, since Executioners have made it from the winner bracket, they will be getting a one match advantage, by the way. And that is going to be that they will just need to be winning about 2 maps in that. That will make it a 3-0 sweep for them. So all they need to do is just about win 2 games, and that there you have it, the winners of, the tournament
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that. But I
It's
really
just like
feel that.
a.
But I really feel that this is not gonna be the case because I think the way both these teams have been playing this game, and also the way Alter Ego Esports have been playing this was quite impeccable. Even though they have been making mistakes time and time again, I think they have enough time for them to work on it, and this is something which they can work on because the finals is gonna be tomorrow as well. So they would have been playing them again. I mean, they would have been playing them before in the upper bracket as well, and I think they have a lot of learning points where they need to work on, and I think that is something which they will be working on as well because this is a huge prize pool coming out there, $2,400, and I think a lot of teams were a
They'll
lot
be
of teams
scoring
were
about that,
participating.
that is a lot of money for an online tournament, and these guys are going to make sure that they're going to do the best to make sure they get the lion's share of that money. And this is, quite an amazing form of CSGO, seeing the best teams in CSGO from Southeast Asia playing in this online tournament. We are going to be determining who is going to be the best for first shot. And ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are going home right now, there is still a lot of chances for you guys to shine in the CS:GO game. So just follow us on our Facebook page, just follow us on Instagram, and make sure that you keep up to date with our tournament, so you guys have more chances to show off your skills and win yourself some money. Because esports is still an occupation. You need to make money, and we are giving you as much opportunities as you can to
Exactly,
flourish in
because
this.
right now the way things have been going on, we have been getting a lot of tournaments as well, and a lot of tournaments where the talents have been a lot of talents have been showcased as well, not just for the SEA scene but the global scene as well. We have seen the SEA scene come up pretty well, and as you can see, the number of teams which have been participating in the majors have been putting up a good show as well. Teams like Vichy, teams like Tailu have been the front runners of the SEA scene, and I feel a lot of teams like that will be emerging courtesy of tournaments like these, and I think that is something which is quite evident. Maybe in a while or so, we might be seeing a lot of other teams as well making up, making sure that the name of the SCA scene is actually taken forward too.
Yeah, man. I
And
mean, like, I'm proud of these guys for showing us a really good game of CS:GO. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys, want to let other people know that this is gonna be happening, like there is a tournament like this. First Shot is a tournament like this where a lot of your Southeast Asian friends can participate and show off their skills in a game of CS:GO. Go ahead and share this video, because we will be having a lot more tournaments for the Southeast Asian crowd and the international crowd in general. So go ahead and share this video and let people know that there is going to be a finals happening tomorrow between Executioners and Alter Ego Esports, and it is going to be one hell of an amazing game of CSGO.
I mean, yes, and speaking about winners, we just determined about two of the winners who will be going on to the finals. And I think this is about time where we are going to announce the winners of the $5 giveaways as well, which we had been telling you right from the start of today's stream. And like I said, we are going to give away $5 worth of Steam Wallet gift codes for these two guys. And this time, let me do the drum rolling, and you can probably try to give out the
All right,
winners.
then, ladies and gentlemen, the two people who are going to be winning those $5 Steam giveaway cards is going to be Nino Makela and Frey. So, you two gentlemen, or ladies, I don't know, people can.
You get the
have
point. You
different
guys are the
names.
winners. Hearty congratulations to both of y'all. You guys have just won $5 giveaway cards from Steam, and I think if you just want to, I mean, you could just reach out to our Facebook handle and just send us a message. Drop in a message at our Facebook handle so that we can just contact you regarding that, and we can give you the codes as well. And with that being said, this was an eventful day. We saw a lot of top quality matches
Oof,
right from the
amazing
start.
day, man. Yeah,
I mean,
this is a goddamn good scene for CS:GO. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please do not miss out on tomorrow's best of 5 finals, because that is gonna be one hell of an amazing game of CS:GO. And with that being said, I guess I'm gonna be signing up. I'm getting tired, but I need to like prepare myself. I need to drink some juice so I can get that stamina back, so I can give the best show I've ever given in a game of CS:GO tomorrow. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is OLDBEAR, also known as Siddarth Prashanth, and
this is Tangenberg, also known as Sriram Vishaal, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow for the finals between Executioners and Alter Ego Esports. Ciao.
My friend, I am tired of this talk AK, man. But it still does the job though, right? Yes, I know. But I want to look cool, you know? Why don't you just go to Playtonia.com, man? Play what?
Thank you.